Just chill. All right, what's going on, everybody? Joshua Cook along with Scotty T.
Hello,
David
Francis.
How's
it going?
We
are here at VYPE Media headquarters in Houston, Texas, and watching the 4A state championships is about to start here at noon. Carthage and Gilmer, we'll get into that. And of course, this year a lot different than years past, guys, because usually this time you have all the state championships happening, 1A through 6A. But this year we kind of get a double dose. You get 1A through 4A this week. Get a few more weeks of Texas high school football playoffs at 5A and 6A, and then we get the state championships for the big boys come mid-January. But exciting time to see the state championships. I think this is something that a lot of people didn't know if it was going to happen or not this year, the way the fall was starting at least.
It's like you almost got a Christmas break, which is pretty cool. We get a break for Christmas, and then we pick back up for the playoffs. And yeah, Josh, to your point, it's been a wild fall. Games been canceled, rescheduled, moved. The fact that we're here watching a 4A state championship here, it's fantastic. I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah, the fact that we get to watch any Texas high school football this year at all. I mean, I was probably in a camp of people that really thought we weren't going to get to watch any, period. And I mean, the fact that all of us been able to go to a couple of games, been able to be there in person, and even with limited crowds, get to experience a football game with crowds and with people, and it's just been absolutely incredible, and obviously a just true feat that these teams have played 14, 15 games, and now they're getting to play for a state championship. And it's a little different, you know, there's not as many people at AT&T Stadium, but still, I mean, the crowds are showing up, and I mean, you get these small towns, and it really feels like that entire city is there cheering on their team, and so it'll be exactly the same when Gilmer and Carthage square off here in, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and we're here, we're ready to watch the game and see what happens.
Yeah, what's great about these games, AT&T Stadium, we've been there. I've been there before as a fan for concerts, and then actually on the field for state championship games. And we know it holds over 100,000 people. And the great thing about these games is all these games this week are sold out to the capacity that they were being allowed. So that shows you how much people in this state love Texas high school football, especially for these communities. And these are the small schools, right? These are the small schools,
tiny, little
selling out these games, which is great. And of course, guys, the game that we're going to start with is going to be the 4A Division II State Championship. Gilmer comes in at 14-1. Carthage comes in at 13-0. These are two really, really good 4A teams. Gilmer is under the direction of Alan Metzel, his first season as head coach, and then Carthage is under Scott Surratt, his 14th season. So you have a very veteran head coach against a coach that's in the first year with his program in Gilmer. Both of these very good teams. These guys actually played earlier in the season, and Carthage actually won that game. So maybe some revenge coming for Gilmer here in the state title game.
Could be, but let's remember that that game was a 42-12 game. I mean, it was an incredibly one-sided affair. I mean, obviously Carthage, big favorites here, right? They are undefeated. Their closest game was a 3-point win, but other than that, they have just rolled teams, especially in the playoffs, and they've just been dominant. They've looked absolutely unstoppable, so they're going to be huge favorites, but I think that, Gilmer, maybe they can still make a game of it.
I think so. But to your point, though, that was week 5 or week 6, whenever that game played. There's a lot has happened since then. Teams get better throughout the season, and it's so hard to beat the same team twice. Even if you are better than them, it's hard to beat anybody twice in one season. That's why we love the playoffs, and even in the NFL, when somebody sees somebody again for a second time, you know their tendencies, you know what works for them, what doesn't work for them. So I think you're right, they're probably the favorites, but I mean, it's playoff football. You never know.
It's very difficult to beat a team twice.
Well, last season, example of that, Katy beats North Shore in the opening game, and then North Shore goes on to win 15 straight games and win its second straight state championship.
Yeah, beating Katy in the playoffs.
And really beating them.
Yeah.
Taking care of business. That was a much different team than in the opening week. You look at this Gilmer team, Brandon Tennyson, the quarterback, he's the one that pops out on the stat sheet. Over 3,700 yards passing on the year, 38 touchdowns. He's rushed for almost 1,000 as well. Carthage knows who they need to stop. That's Tennyson at quarterback.
That's right.
And there's no surprise cries on that side. And then you go to the Carthage side of the ball. I mean, the running back is going to be one of the players to watch for sure. Mason Courtney, over 1,300 yards on the season, 27 touchdowns, 350 yards receiving as well. Defensively, they got some pieces as well. I mean, this is gonna be a really fun game. I mean, Carthage. I know a few coaches that have moved on up there to Carthage, and they're 13-0. They're looking for a perfect season. They're looking for state title number 8. They're looking for back-to-back state championships. Gilmer's trying to win their first state championship since 2014. Yeah, I mean, let's go. Let's just play it. At this point, it's getting ready to play the game, and that's what's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be here watching it, here.
Watching it here, and the fans can watch us watch the game. That's kind of the...
Yeah, absolutely. Get the game on your TV, sit down, enjoy it. It's a beautiful-ish Friday afternoon here in Houston, Texas.
As you said that, I look out the window, I'm like,
but it's cool. It's a nice, cool Friday.
It was like 42 degrees last night. I was freezing.
Friday before Christmas. It's a nice, good time. It's a great time to sit and watch some high school football. So turn on the game, sit down with us. We're going to watch some high school football together.
It'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, some funny commentary.
I was going to bring up, the other games have been great. Save for the 6-man 1A D1 final. These games have been highly competitive. Now, some of them have kind of gotten less competitive towards the end, but for most of these games, throughout most of the game, highly competitive contests, and have been a ton of fun to watch the state championships this year.
I mean, we were just watching the Jim Ned versus Hallisville game, and I didn't get a chance to watch it last night, so it was fun rewatching the game. I'd heard what happened, but even when you know what's happened, Dave and I are looking at each other like, how did this game get away from us? And also, big shout out to our producer, Josh, or Whack, who is here setting this up for us, and he just kept saying, just watch. That's all he said, just watch.
I didn't know it was about
We still didn't believe what was happening.
I didn't know it was about to happen, and I kept watching, and I said, how is Hallettsville going to lose this game? Because they were up big, and they had momentum, and their running back was just nuts, and was running through every tackle, and just seemed to be gaining 8-9 yards of carry, and it just didn't look like they were going to stop him. But I mean, sure enough, Jim Ned comes back, and they get the benefit of a pretty amazing play in overtime, and there you go. They're state champions for the first time. So always good to see a team win their first state football championship. It is a wonderful thing, because it is a very, football in Texas is so much of a community thing, and it's very much. I grew up in Pearland, and when Pearland went to the state championships in 2010, I was a freshman, and I remember being at that game.
You kind of date yourself there.
A little bit. And I remember being at that game, and I was like, everyone I've ever seen in my life is here. Like, it was so full at AT&T Stadium, and everyone I knew was there. And it just felt like the entire town of Pearland was at the stadium, really cheering on. And we were playing Trinity. It felt like the entire city of Euless was there, cheering on Trinity, and it was just an awesome experience to get to watch them win their first state championship. And I obviously wish that for every school, that they get to experience that, because it's really cool. It's just an awesome unifying community experience.
I mean, just seeing the reactions of Jim Ned right there was...
Yeah, absolutely.
It was worth it. And, man, I'm excited for this game. Carthage has been there a few times. It sounds like going for their... I mean, in terms of programs, this has got to be one of the best...
One of the best
programs in the state of Texas. Yeah. We were thinking about, obviously, North Shore is top of mind at the 6A level. Right. Katy is the dynasty here in the Houston area. Right. Go to the Metroplex. You got Allen. You got South Lake Carroll. You got Aledo. You got Highland Park. And you got to throw Carthage in that conversation as well. I think they might get overlooked a little bit since
they're smaller. You're right.
A little on the smaller side, but I mean, they got some ballers.
Well, and
we're gonna see them on display.
From everything we've seen, there's been no sort of lowering of intensity or athleticism at all in these lower levels. I mean, you watched even the 1A game, right, which is 6-man football, and yeah, some of the kids are smaller. And, maybe they aren't as talented in throwing the ball, because they don't throw a ball a lot in 6-man football, but they're still highly talented, so very fast, so very physical. And then you start getting into even 2A, where they do play 11-man ball, and it's still like a highly competitive game. Sure, you got guys playing on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, your star running back is probably also your star defensive back. But
David,
still,
who's been your favorite player to watch so far? Because I think I know who it is.
Oh, that is easy, Scott. Let me tell you about him. And here's the thing: the world already knows about him. So I feel like I got this opportunity taken away from me because I had seen statistics and video of this player beforehand, and now I can't remember his name. What's his name? It's Doug, right? Doug Brooks, isn't that him that blew up? Yeah. Doug Brooks. I knew about this guy earlier this week. I was watching some pre-championship stuff for Shiner, and they brought up this guy that's 260 playing running back, and my interest was piqued all of a sudden.
Who's that old running back for A&M? Jaworski
Lane. Yeah, he was very similar. Exactly. He played fullback in the NFL, and yeah, I mean, just a big guy that you're not usually seeing a defensive lineman play running back, but that's exactly. I mean, he's a defensive lineman. He's a big boy, but they confidently hand him the ball and allow him to run, and he's been absolutely incredible. Obviously had a great game as Shiner won a state championship. Him and his brother, who's their other running back, and then he made just incredible plays on defense and special teams.
All over the place.
On defense, he stripped the ball, he caught it after he stripped it in midair, and had the opportunity to hand it to a teammate so that his teammate could score on a touchdown on defense, which is awesome. And then he went and blocked a punt, and then recovered that punt in the end zone for a touchdown. So he was all over the field. He was so much fun to watch. Just one of those things that you don't get to see something like that when you watch NFL football, really college football. You don't get to see a big guy confidently being handed the ball that many times.
And I mean, his stiff arm.
Well, it was awesome. It was awesome. Absolutely.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
He put the dude in the turf.
Absolutely.
Like, I felt so bad for the kid because I was like, what was that play in the NFL a few weeks ago where they were like, who did it?
Someone was probably Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. When he Derrick Henry, this stiff arm was better than Derrick Henry's.
Yeah, he put that guy on the ground.
Dude,
unfortunately.
I mean, and then he took out like a couple more defenders along. I mean, oh my gosh, like wild.
Literally, David was texting me. He was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's crazy."
I could not stop myself from talking about him. He was so good. It was amazing.
It's been so good. It's been so. I mean, these championships have been so good. They've been so close. They've come down to overtimes.
Yep.
They've been phenomenal. I mean, as we wait for the Carthage Gilmer game, we are here on the VYPE Texas account, and thanks for everyone that's tuning in.
Yes,
right now.
Everybody for watching.
To give you kind of some Houston area stuff. Last night, Bridgeland gets past Decaney in 4 overtimes.
Very close game.
Yeah, shout out to Tommy Yarsh for the coverage of that game.
Yeah, Tommy Yarsh did a great job. He's one of our VYPE ambassadors. Covered that game for us. 47-44, the final of that one.
That's what you want to see in high school football playoffs, though. That's what you want to see, even in the second round.
Do you want to see 4 overtimes?
Yes, I want to see that in every round.
Inject it into my veins.
In the second round, and this is a good Bridgeland.
That gives me heartburn.
This is a good Bridgeland team, right? We're all pretty high. Bridgeland's a very good team.
Yes.
They have high hopes for this season, and they get taken to the wire in the second game of the postseason.
Yeah.
I love it. That's what you want to see.
Back to Decaney. Decaney.
Oh, Decaney deserves so much credit.
Yeah,
they had
great.
I mean, how many times do you have 571 total yards of offense and you lose a game? I mean, unless you're like Texas Tech football right now.
Oh,
I mean,
ouch, that's got hurt.
I'm just saying. We don't talk about Tech football for.
Shout out to the Red Raider Nation
for a while. Yeah, Red Raider Nation. Dalen Williams, 402 yards passing for Decaney last night. Great job by him. Connor Wigman, 27 of 44 for 375 yards, 5 touchdowns. Dylan Goffney, the SMU signee, with that amazing final catch to win the game. 14 catches, 204 yards, 3 touchdowns. If you're an SMU fan, you got to be really, really happy with Dylan Goffney coming to your program, because he is a playmaker, and it's good for Bridgeland gets through, but it's good they got pushed. They got pushed
Absolutely,
in 4 overtimes so they could win.
One of the first times that Bridgeland has been really tested this year.
Obviously
4 overtime is
besides the Cy Fair game. I think Cy Fair tested them.
Okay,
that was a 41-29 win for them. They got big push there at the end.
But with everything on the line in the playoffs, win or go home, you've got to step up, you've got to make the plays, and that's exactly what they did. 4 overtimes, like you said, and they get to move on.
So I got a question for you, Josh. So Matt Malatesta, Chief Content Officer here at VYPE Media, he's huge on Connor Weekend. What's your thoughts on him? Is he the real deal?
He is the real deal. You know, he throws the ball really well. He's a big baseball guy too. I mean, it's gonna be really interesting to see which way he kind of goes because I mean, he's in a lot of top lists and prospects when it comes to baseball. And you know, baseball. I mean, you can get drafted out of high school. You know, you get drafted out of high school. And you can if you're drafted high enough and the money is good enough, and you can make that jump. But man, he's a really good quarterback. He's got some swag to him. He knows how to roll out. You know, he knows how to throw on the run. He knows how to make big plays. He got offered from Oklahoma and Texas this season. I mean, you know, he's only a junior. I mean, that's what's so crazy about him is he's only a junior. So
time to grow.
So Bridgeland really good. North Shore beat Pearland Dawson last night, 38-7.
Smoked him.
I mean,
smoked him.
Yeah. David wasn't as high on Dawson. Dawson had a great season, undefeated going into the game. And dude, I saw one of the replies.
Onside kick!
Onside kick to start the game.
Oh my goodness!
Wow! I apologize. I had to interrupt. By the way, the game is starting. While the game's starting, hold on. We got to do this first. Scott, Gilmer, Carthage, who you got in the game? We all know you have just the most knowledge in the world about this game.
Absolutely, and yeah, right. I think starting off, honestly, I have to Google where Gilmer is. So. I know where Carthage is because of Bernie. You know the movie Bernie with Jack Black? That's how I know Carthage. Okay. My heart says Carthage, everything says Carthage, but I'm going with the underdog. Gilmer is my pick.
I'm absolutely going to stick with Carthage. My underdog pick is being saved for later this evening. I'm going to have to go Carthage.
I'm going to go Carthage. I know a couple of the coaches up there. I'm really, you know.
I'm different.
Really,
you're different.
Really
and good for you.
Thank you.
We would all love for underdogs to win. Oh my gosh.
Oh, just overthrow. Oh, man, he had him in step too. He had him in step.
All right, how about this to start the game? Onside kick, and so Carthage says, not my house. Then they go for the...
Exactly. They immediately go for the
Horton's like, watch this. I'm gonna air this out. Can we talk? Okay, so David, you're a big uniform guy, right?
Huge
uniform guy. We got a little like Carthage got like a little. What's this like Wisconsin going on?
A little Wisconsin. A little bit. So I mean, let's just go ahead and do this. We'll just go ahead and give the uniform rundown of the game. We've got Carthage in traditional kind of white red, and I mean it is a pretty traditional looking uniform. It doesn't have a lot of flash, doesn't have a lot of flair. But I like that. I'm a huge fan of glossy helmets. I think that matte helmets are something that a lot of people like to do now. I think they're a more modern style. They're not for me. So I love their look right now. White helmet. They've got their Red C logo, and it is. I mean, I don't know if it's.
Is that kind of like a Cincinnati
Reds?
It
looks like the Reds logo.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the Reds logo.
But no, but it looks good. They've got 2 pretty simple stripes on the pants, and I think it's a really good look. I'm not as high on Gilmer, only because of the
Gilmer's
color.
got a little Okie State going.
Only because of the color scheme. I'm not a huge fan. I think that orange maybe could be maybe a little more muted.
Oh, what a play! Oh, what a play! Who is that? 14?
Oh,
14?
Gosh.
Oh man, give him the helmet sticker here. I'm gonna hand some helmet stickers out during this game. Man, dude, stops him.
Pads are popping.
He stops him from getting. Look at that. He'll lower the shoulder. Stops him from getting the first down. Big stop by Gilmer to open the game.
Absolutely was a little
right here, just boom.
Yikes!
Oh wow!
That was a hard
play.
hit. Hard helmet to helmet hit.
Oh, are they looking at that?
I don't know. They might be.
Oh, it's under review. So they're going to review this play. I think they're going to review it for targeting.
Targeting,
maybe.
Jeez. So here's my issue.
But see, they're showing 10 here, and I think 14 when he came in. I think that's what the
review is about.
Yeah, what the review is.
Here's my only issue with the Gilmer uniform, and I'll close with this. The orange on their helmet does not match the orange on their uniform. The orange on the uniform is a pretty bright, almost neon orange, and the helmet is not. It's a more darker orange. Ooh, that's head to head. Oh yeah, yikes.
That might be like video
he got up though, right? I mean, I think he's okay.
No, I think he's okay, but I think that's going to be video they're going to show in the refereeing school next year of like, okay, this is what helmet to helmet is.
It's on the instructional video.
They actually do instructional videos. They do actually show plays from the year before.
Gosh, what's that 30 for 30? I think it's the U. And they're like Yeah, and then NCAA came out with like celebrations. You know, have to use
and
the
it was
entire
just-
Miami team. And
Yeah.
they're like, we were proud of that.
Yeah.
That's great. That's probably gotta be like my favorite 30 for 30.
Speak-
On a side note.
Speaking of celebrations, I was watching the Chiefs game a few weeks ago. That's when Tyreek Hill just had that monster first half.
Yes.
Oh, dude, he put up
And
like 40 fantasy points. It was crazy.
Then he stops at the goal line and backflips into the end zone.
That was nuts.
How are there not flags all over the field
I mean,
for excessive celebration?
thing.
The man stopped and then backflipped into the end zone.
Here's the thing: the NFL has decided, and I think rightly so. They've decided that over the last couple of years they were going to get pretty lax on excessive celebration penalties, and I love that. I mean, like these guys. First of all, we want to talk about high school football. High school football is about growth and maturation, getting more mature and learning the game and fundamentals. And so I understand where it's like, okay, let's not showboat and gloat and all that kind of stuff. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar business. Like,
It is, yeah.
seriously, we're going to tell these guys they can't be excited? And, like, so what?
And they've worked their entire lives to
He
get
backflips into the
I
end zone,
guess as
so
long as he's
what?
not like
Whatever.
pulling like a marker out of his sock
Right, yeah.
and
There's
autographing
a
it and throwing it.
there's a limit, right?
or Zeke Elliott jumping into
into
the Salvation
right,
Army
right.
Dude, I was at that game.
kettle of you.
I was at that game. I was living in Dallas at the time, and we were there. All right, let's see what the call is. There's probably some sort of delay on the feed. I would assume.
Well, we're gonna get our oh no, it's muted. I thought Josh was listening to it.
No.
Okay, well something happened.
We're gonna get our
Oh,
no, it's muted.
feedback. Can't do that. Okay.
Oh, so 4th down and 1.
Well, fourth
and,
down.
I mean, it looks like it looks like they're gonna go for it. Looks like they're gonna go for it.
Big early down then. Oh, he didn't
Oh
get it.
wow! Mason Courtney gets
My pick.
wrapped up in the backfield,
Gilbert.
Look at Gilmer.
and there you go, Gilmer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be honest right
It's
now.
the G.
In it.
It's hard to see the G on the helmet.
It is. I'm gonna be
Tristan
I'm
McKeehan,
gonna have to be honest
senior
right now.
defensive lineman, getting
Oh,
back
okay, they're
there.
the Buckeyes. Okay, they're good. Their jersey says it. What is Carthage?
Just no push up front, really. I mean, 50.
Oh, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like
Thank you,
Carthage.
J Dub. The first input from producer J Dub. Everybody,
J
give
Dub.
some
Do you like
love.
J Dub or you like Whack or what you got?
Whatever you want to call me.
Okay.
No, you shouldn't give us that option. It's a terrible idea.
But yeah, dude, the Gilmer, the penetration was solid.
Yeah, fantastic.
They're jacked up right now. You can tell.
Absolutely.
They're pretty excited. Oh, a little pump fake. Okay.
Oh, what
Oh,
a run!
See, now remember during
Kyle Murray.
the pregame, I was saying, this guy can run a little bit. He got almost 1,000 yards rushing. So I mean, he can take off. He can take off if he wants to.
Well, Scott, you asked me. I don't know. Have you watched any of the games? Have you had the opportunity?
No, I haven't had the opportunity because we are grinding here at VYPE Media.
We are grinding. Josh, have you watched any of
Grinding.
the games?
Well,
Did you have opportunity to watch any
because certain channels have certain disputes with certain streaming services
Oh.
currently, I am unable to watch. So I just
That's
follow.
unfortunate.
I follow certain accounts on certain social media platforms for certain highlights. Was that the most generic, non-branded,
Most
conversation?
non-branded conversation I've ever had.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take the opportunity to answer my question that I didn't ask either one of you.
Go for it.
And I'm going to take this opportunity. Scott, who was your star player? Well, I'll tell you who it was. It was Cross Caniddle. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, that's a
House
Gilmer
call!
touchdown.
House call!
That's a
Let's
Gilmer
go.
touchdown.
Gilmer!
Oh,
Oh,
my goodness.
Let's go!
Wow!
All right.
Gilmer
Well,
striking.
opening the score. Also, again, shout out J Dub. You've got a wonderful little scoreboard on your screen here, and that is all because of this man doing the work, putting in the score and the time. So good job on
We
J
got
Dub.
plenty of
So
time
that
to
was
stream, so
that
I'm
was
sure
Gilmer's
Wow,
Rohan
good.
Fluellen. I mean, look at it. He just catches it in the flat, down the middle. He's
Oh,
got
it's two
look,
block-
you know,
two linemen
give
with him.
number 50. I'm gonna give 50 and 71 some love. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give him some love here because they were running toe for toe. Taylor Neely, the junior offensive lineman, going down step for step for him for at least
Yeah.
30 yards. But there was a play like that. So it's 7-0 Gilmer. What a start to this game. But there was a play like this last night in the North Shore game where Demetrius Davis hit Jalen Bailey kind of in the flat, just kind of for 5-6 yards, and Bailey just found some room, took off, and he was gone for the 55-yard score. So I mean,
Incredible.
a little
The power of blocking.
screen pass, a little
Absolutely.
bubble screens
No,
coming in.
no bubble screens.
No bubble screens.
No. As I was saying, Scott, Cross Canidle, your favorite player.
Yes.
Just an absolutely dominant force on the part of Sterling City against May in the 1A Division 1 state championship, 6-man football.
6-man.
He went off. 249 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a 62-yard pass for a touchdown on his only passing attempt. He was unbelievable.
Love that.
He was unbelievable.
Love that.
He just absolutely dominated the game, and Sterling ran all over May, and it was over before there was even an opportunity to really even have a game. I mean, it ended after the first possession in the third quarter because of the mercy rule. So
Yeah.
he
Also
was the big reason for that. He was absolutely incredible.
Also, the chat section. Go to the chat section. Section. Let us know who you got. We got one person who thinks Carthage is going to win. I mean, like you said, Carthage is the favorite.
They're the
Gilmer
favorite.
is up early, dude. My dark horse pick already.
I see that.
They are the favorite.
Suck.
And here's the thing. When you're talking about high school football, it's almost unfair to even say somebody's a favorite, somebody's not a favorite. Because sometimes you'll say, okay, well, this team's the favorite. And
I think North Shore's the favorite in every game.
well, okay, you're correct. Congratulations, you're correct. But there'll be an opportunity that maybe it is a team like North Shore, right?
I was thinking North Shore. There's a picture of them.
You talk about North Shore and you say, okay, well, maybe they're going to be favored to win by 2 scores in every game they play. And they might do that, right? I think we would all, if they won every single playoff game, including state, by 2 or 3 scores, nobody in this room would be surprised.
Correct.
They're fantastic.
No.
But there's also these times where there might be a team that's heavily favored and they lose. I mean, and that's high school football. That's especially here in Texas when it is just bigger and badder and faster and stronger. I mean, the teams that aren't favored are never counted out for any reason. There's always a chance to win.
I mean, you look at this year. I mean, like Travis, knocked out
Already, yeah.
Foster, which usually makes big runs. They ran into a really, really good Cedar Park team. Cedar Park's really good in 5A.
Wait, did Foster lose?
Yeah, so Cedar Park won that game last night. So Cedar Park moves on. Yeah,
Easily?
Yeah, it was I think 30-0 in the second quarter. So Cedar Park has a lot going for them this season.
Didn't expect that. Wow.
Yeah,
life comes at you fast sometimes.
Got some big games tonight in the Houston area. Cy-Fair takes on Tompkins. Tommy Arsh will be at that game, covering that for us.
Nice.
Klein Kane takes on Westfield.
I think what?
Another onside kick. Another onside
I think
kick.
they got it.
Oh, my goodness.
What is happening?
So Gilmer comes out, they kick the opening kick, onside kick, and Carthage is like, okay, fine, you're not going to do it again. And then Gilmer comes out and does it again after they score a touchdown.
Dude,
oh my God.
He kicked that right down the middle of the field and just was like a ground ball. It was
recovered by the kicker. It was recovered by the kicker.
He got it.
I think that's
effort.
I think that's who is designed to recover that. He had to make sure it went 10 yards, and he actually catches it, fumbles, and then jumps back on top of it. And oh wow,
what an effort,
man!
I mean,
Jose Hernandez, he's a linebacker and punter. Love it.
If Gilmer can score here, man, that would be huge. We have 14-0 in the opening 3 minutes of this game.
I'm interested to see how Carthage responds. Because Gilmer, they're almost like throwing out all the tricks.
Yes,
so far.
all the punches, and they've almost all landed, right? So yeah, the opening onside kick, kick doesn't work, right? But it shows you're serious. It says we're going to try everything. We've got a bag of tricks, and we're going to open it up for this game. And then obviously they scored the touchdown, and then the second onside kick does work. So it is going to be a story of how they respond in this game. Oh, great grab
Hey
by
Josh,
Gilmer.
is there instant replay? And at the state championship games, I know in your regular Friday night games you don't.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
So they have
so-
replay.
So they do.
I'm surprised they didn't replay that.
They do reviews. Yeah, they do reviews. So
reviews, yeah.
they must have buzzed down and said, yeah, it was good. So
Interesting.
because I think they do look at every play if it needs to be reviewed or not.
But obviously it has to do with can the offense get up there, snap the ball real quick, and just kind of negate that.
Well, yeah, I mean, on this instance, it went the 10 yards, but it was close. I mean, he touched it right at
The line. Oh, great move.
Tell you what, this quarterback's shifty.
He is. Man, and you're right, all of the momentum early is here for Gilmer. All of it. I mean, it looks like Carthage is on the back foot, and like you said, it'll be on them to see how they respond. So. We've got the Big 12 logo here.
I'm about to say, I don't remember that last year.
We've got
Big 12 logos everywhere.
That's because
Big
they
12 championship
played
games.
before the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
And they play after. Yeah, usually play after.
But they're playing before the Big 12 championship.
Usually
game.
it would be the Dallas Cowboys star
Yeah.
and end zones and stuff. But
Speaking of the Big 12 championship game, Scott, who you got? You got Iowa State. You got
Who's
Sooners.
playing?
Iowa State and Oklahoma.
Baylor's not in it, so
Baylor's not in it?
Baylor's not in it,
I
so
know, that's
Scott
too
does not
bad.
scare.
Not until
care.
Kyron Jones gets there.
That is true. Baylor had a pretty good pull.
Are you excited? You excited for Kyron Jones?
I am excited for Kyron Jones. Josh and I were talking about that. It seems like Jones, he had a really good summer in Elite 11 camp. This summer, I don't know if he's like hurt or what's going on. Just he seems like he's still good, but I think once he gets into Baylor, learns the system and everything, like he's got the skill set.
He is a very physical quarterback. He runs hard. That is, to me, from watching him play North Shore, and we know North Shore is great. They've got great talent on the defensive side of the ball. They're strong, they're fast. But obviously they dominated Shadow Creek when they played to open the season.
Oh,
my
second
gosh.
touchdown for him.
Wow. Fantastic.
And what a throw by
Great throw, great catch.
by the quarterback. I mean, he had three dudes right in his face. I mean, Tennyson rolling out to his right and then throws it downfield on the move with three guys in his face. And surprise,
threads it through traffic.
Rohan Llewellyn, the sophomore.
We've got a trick, some sort of weird alignment here. Okay, they're going to move over. There's a weird alignment for the PAT.
That's probably like their thing.
Yeah, try and get a look.
See if
But it looks like they'll just kick a regular PAT here. That's exactly what they do.
I like how he's kicking off a T. I respect that.
That's
So-
14-0.
so,
just
yeah.
like that. 5 minutes into the game.
Carthage down 14-0.
What's
But
up, Gilmer?
But hey, you know what? Not to bring
that
that
was
up, but
right on the
Hallettsville was
numbers.
up 21-0 and ended up losing that game.
lost
It's too soon, Josh.
Yeah.
Is it too soon?
Too soon.
I mean, we just
No,
watched the replay of
We
it.
wa-
I mean, you've had at least 12 hours,
That's true.
Yeah.
so
That's true. A lot to digest on it.
14-0.
But yeah, going back, I like Jones. I think Baylor's gonna be fine. Yeah, like
You've got to
it's a weird year, man. Like coaching changes
Yeah.
with COVID and like shutting down practices all the time. It's hard to get in the groove.
Well, and
so,
I think that it needs to
we'll
be
be fine.
it needs to be said. Obviously we saw even this last week combined with this week, 3 teams even here in the Houston area are out of the playoffs.
Yep.
From forfeiting due to COVID issues. So
Yeah.
there needs to be legitimate congratulations to all of the teams that make the state finals, whether they win or lose, whether they lose close or lose big or win close or win big. Like regardless, everybody that makes it to the state final, that's an accomplishment this year because normally it's okay. Well, who's the good football team? This year it's who's a good football team and who can have the discipline outside off the football field to do what they need to do to make sure that they're healthy and able to actually play these games. Because I mean, like we've seen, you have one little slip up and a couple people get sick, and then that's your season.
Mhm.
And I mean, that could happen at any time with any of these teams. If North Shore got some guys sick, they're done, and then that race is wide open for the state championship. So these teams, especially now, huge props to Gilmer and to Carthage and to all the other teams that have made state championships and are gonna make state championships because
I love that hat.
they're doing a great job.
Yeah, we were talking about, National Signing Day. The early National Signing Day was this past week on Wednesday.
Where were you at, Josh? Where were you? I saw that you were out
Josh
on
was
the
all
road.
over the city.
Josh was all over the city.
let's see,
Where were you at?
I started at Fort Bend Christian Academy. Fort Bend Christian Academy. They had Remington Strickland, offensive lineman, signed to Texas A&M. Then they had wide receiver David Casamervis. He signed a preferred walk-on to go to Stanford.
Okay, so yeah, I was confused. I didn't know if that was a
Yeah, it was
scholarship or
it was a preferred walk-on.
Are they doing letters of intent for preferred walk-ons?
Yeah,
now?
so he still signed something that says you're gonna take a preferred walk-on spot.
That's cool.
And then for them, one of their other big offensive linemen, Rob Walters, just got an offer from Oklahoma State.
That's a big offer.
Just the other day.
Is he a junior?
He's a senior. He's
Oh,
a
okay.
senior offensive lineman. So they're gonna have a few more guys sign D1 come the February signing day. So I started there. Then I made my way over to North Shore, of course. Shadrack Banks signed to Texas A&M, and then
Is he like one of the most underrated players at North Shore? Like I know he's obviously signed with A&M, so he's not.
Shadrack?
Yeah, I know he's not underrated.
No,
he doesn't get the headlines that like Demetrius Davis does.
He's not underrated. It's just there's a lot of attention goes to D.
Right.
A lot of the attention goes to D.
Right. And that's a shit.
But Shadrack is definitely not underrated. I think Charles King at wide receiver is underrated. David Armand II is underrated. I think Jalen Bailey is underrated. I mean, they have so many weapons over at North Shore, and that's the thing is, I mean, and North Shore is getting creative with Shadrack. I mean, they're lining him up in the backfield. He had 29-yard rushing.
They are using
night.
him as the we're seeing this kind of like shift in football, even in the NFL. And when the NFL guys are doing something, you know that it's kind of this shift in all of football. And they are you're finding that where you have these really good guys that are just great athletes, and you're going to put them on the field somewhere. You're just going to figure out how to get them the ball. Figure out how to get them the ball in space, let them do kind of what they do, and that's what they're doing with Shadrack. I mean, they're just giving him the ball however they can, and then allowing him to create plays.
Yeah, Willie Gaston is the offensive coordinator over at North Shore, and I mean, genius what he's done over the last now 3 years of operating this offense with those guys and everything.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
So I stopped there and then took a little break in the afternoon, and then in the evening went over to St. Thomas High School where Maddox Kopp signed to U of H. Drake Martinez, the tight end, he signed to Colorado State. His dad actually played at Tulsa University, which so he's second generation college player. And then
I'm waiting.
You ready? No, there's no one else to sign. No, I'm just kidding. Cameron Bonner, the wide receiver, picks Baylor University.
That was great.
Big pickup for Baylor to get him. Nice wide receiver. So Baylor gets Bonner. They get drones out of the city. So big time for them. And
Yeah.
commitments and signings have continued. This morning, Katie Taylor, offensive lineman Bryce Foster, who was one of the kind of last big names to be on the board that had committed. He signed with Texas A&M. So Texas A&M's offensive line, is solid for the next.
I'm not upset
years.
about it.
I know you're
As
not.
you can
I mean,
see,
I'm not upset about it.
6'100", Ruben Fathery the second.
Yeah, that man is
On that line,
huge.
Matthew Wyckoff from Magnolia is going to be on that line.
Like you said, Remington Strickland.
Remington Strickland, he's a big man. He's going to be on that line. Then you got Bryce Foster. I mean, and then you think about the guy that's going to stay back out of this class that's leaving Texas A&M. The guy Kenyon Green from Atascocita. He'll be the savvy veteran
Right.
to help teach these guys. And it's gonna be pretty much an all Houston offensive line for the next 2 to 3 years, and that's pretty exciting.
If it's these guys, I'm certainly not going to be upset about it. You mentioned Remington Strickland, and you mentioned the other guys that were signing at FBCA.
Yeah.
I mean, in your estimation, maybe talk about the great job that Jordan Black has done there since he's arrived.
It's been phenomenal. It's been
Deep
phenomenal.
pass there by Carthage, incomplete. They cannot get something going.
He's missing just by like a little bit.
Right,
He's
and the
just
guys
off.
are open. The
He's
guys
just
are
off.
open, and he's missing them.
He hits him in stride. That's a touchdown.
That touchdown easy, yeah.
It's a touchdown easily.
Hey, I got a good question for you. So in the college ranks, there's the joke, no more noon kickoffs, right? Because noon kickoffs are kind of weird. Do you think these guys are maybe, because they're off a little bit with their timing, their schedule, having a noon kickoff versus
I can't imagine. I
a
think
7 p.m. game?
I think that it's because it's state. I think these guys are so jacked up to play that it doesn't. They could play this game at 6 a.m. It's not going to make a difference. These guys are so excited for the opportunity to play for a state championship that it really doesn't matter what time they play. They're going to play hard. They're going to play fast, and they'll be ready to go.
Oh, dude, this QB's fired up right now. I think he's trying to let a spark under him. He lowered his shoulder down instead of just going out of bounds. Is it Kai Horton?
Yeah.
And
Horton, I mean,
he's looking to just get something going.
yeah, and great job by him.
There's so much time left. So much time.
He felt the pressure on his back. The pocket was collapsing, and then, he just kind of fakes it a little bit. Stiff arm right into the face mask. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love that picture too. The freeze frame.
So stiff arms are they're always the best. You just get to see somebody just get absolutely destroyed, and that's just a beautiful thing about football. That's a great tackle.
Oh yeah.
What a great job
Six was
by
locked up on
by the Gilmer defender was being blocked very well on the outside by the wide receiver and came off
Marshake
that block.
Spraglin, senior
Great
defensive
job.
back.
Great job.
Yeah, see, he's gonna get locked up. He's gonna get locked up, and then he releases for half a second to just put his arm out and grab him.
Josh, you were talking about Jordan Black.
Oh yeah, so Jordan Black, head coach over at Fort Bend Christian County, great job, and he's done in 2 years as head coach. Last year they made the playoffs for back-to-back seasons. They got some major D1 signees coming out of there. Brady Dever, the quarterback, he was a sophomore this year. He's gonna be big. Oh, Mason Courtney!
Uh-oh.
Oh, if he would have cut back and gone in the middle, Courtney would have been into the end zone. Carthage offense getting going though.
Yeah,
Carthage offense getting going.
finally, it's taken him a little bit of time.
No, Jordan Black, he's done a phenomenal job. You take that program from a couple years ago not being able to even finish the season because they didn't have enough guys to finish it, to making the playoffs, back-to-back years, big D1 signees coming off the program. You can't be happier. That program is rolling in the right direction.
Very quick turnaround. You could not have planned for, okay, we're going to hire even a guy like him who has NFL experience. You can't have planned, okay, we'll hire this guy and then 2 years later we're going to be signing a bunch of guys to go play D1 ball. That cannot have been the plan, but you can't be happier that that's what is happening.
No, that was totally the plan.
Oh, well.
That was totally the plan.
Well,
You just didn't know it was the plan.
It executed. Like
Justin
he had a
Bull has
vision.
joined us in here. He's excited about something. I don't know what he's excited about, but he's
brought
excited
pizza,
about the
though.
pizza that he brought us. Is
He
what he's
did.
excited about.
Shout out to
he
Bull.
did.
Shout out for the entire VYPE Media staff for showing up on little. Oh, we got a trick play.
Trick play.
Oh, no.
Throwing it back.
Oh, no. Oh, back to the quarterback.
He's got
Oh!
blockers.
Horton!
Oh, he's gonna score. He's in.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
So they
Wow.
tried a trick play and it looked like it was blown up.
Oh, he's fired up now.
It looked like it was blown up big time, but they were able to pull it off.
What an
Got a
answer.
touchdown.
We're talking about if they can answer.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Man, you got to give a lot of credit. Now, here's the credit on this play. It goes to Craig McNew because first he's going to catch the ball, right? And then he's got to avoid one defender. Then he's got to throw across his body.
Oh, then the blocks.
And then there it is. Just get into the end zone. Horton all fired up. Carthage on the board. I like those white uniforms. Man, those
Oh, they look great.
They're clean.
That play took a lot of time to develop.
It did.
Yeah, like I said, it looked like it was blown
It
up.
took two. And it's one of those things that you kind of almost hate to see it succeed because you don't want to see it succeed and think, oh, we could do that again because that seemed like a once in a million play. It didn't seem like something that they would probably be able to repeat again.
So we are live on our YouTube channel right now. Joshua Cook along with David Francis, Scott Terrell, Scotty T, the man, the myth.
Call me Scotty T. Scotty T's good.
Scotty T's good.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah. Dave, do you have a nickname?
Francois.
D. Francois.
Francois, I guess that's what I'm called.
So we got Scotty T, got Francois, got Josh Dubb, we got Mr. Bull, who is just like demolishing pizza right now.
Gnawing down on the pizza.
That was just. I have to give that a 5-star performance. That was, 2 hands on the pizza. You don't want any sauce or anything falling. No pepperoni. And here's the thing too. Bull has a lot of confidence because he is wearing a white A&M pullover.
It doesn't have a spot of pizza sauce.
Not yet.
Period. That's it. He's got a lot of confidence because he's wearing an A&M
All
polo.
right.
Okay. I was going for the fact that there's no pizza sauce because that's me. I don't own like any white shirts at all because like I have food that literally goes down. Like we have some VYPE Media shirts that are white. I refuse to wear them because I can't eat with
You're gonna
them.
get whatever.
I'm gonna get whatever.
I'm wearing white shoes and they're dirty.
Well, he's got the A&M
out.
hat as well as the
Oh, it's
maroon
the full
shoes
outfit.
rocking.
It's the full outfit.
Yeah, if Matt Maltesto was here, he would claim we've got some dual logos.
Well, we are up to guys. We're up to 23 people watching.
23
this.
people. Thank you to
Thank
the
you for
23 people. If you've got some questions, send them our way.
Yeah, Ryan Tatum
Comments?
said just turn the camera.
Yeah, we can't
we
do that.
can't.
We
turn
can't
the
turn the camera.
I apologize, Ryan, but it's because, and like, I don't think it's any secret, like UIL has an agreement with Fox Sports Southwest, so we can't stream the game into our stream here. So that's why
we're
it's
just giving our reaction.
giving our reaction, and hopefully.
But, if you have any questions,
Enjoying
Houston area football playoffs going on right now. Big games tonight.
What's the big game tonight to watch?
Well, it's Cypher Tompkins. That's a top 10.
I can't
matchup
believe
in the
that's
state.
second round.
The second
matchup.
round. The
Yeah,
second
it's
round
great.
matchup.
That's the thing about 6A Region 3 is you get out of that first round. I mean, the second round, there's some really, really, really good teams that are going to be going home. I mean, that's just the fact.
Such a good collection of talent. In
Oh, it
the
is.
area.
I mean, look at Cypher Tompkins. I mean, Tompkins got Jalen Milrow, the quarterback signed to Alabama. Cypher's got
And Tompkins
LJ
beat
Johnson.
Katie.
Tompkins,
That's an
He did.
incredible. Okay, what's a better streak? Because Katie, I feel like had that incredible streak broken. Was it 65 district games?
75, yeah.
75. Excuse me.
75. It was what, 12 years?
But what was Lamar's
Something
district record? that
Mars
got
was
broken?
72.
So what's
72
more
games.
impressive, you think? Since both going back to like 2008, that's a long time.
I would say Katie.
Just because of the district.
Just because of the district.
The
I think
competition that they have to
the
face.
the competition up and down.
Okay.
I think is a little bit better in 19-6A than in 18-6A. But
I agree with you. I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah,
on it, 'cause
I mean,
it seems like
between the
Lamar
two-
wins their district every year, but they made a deep run in the playoffs. Went to the state championship a few years back,
Mhm.
but they haven't. I mean, they won the first round matchup against Memorial, but I mean, Katie's just Katie. They're
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see
One of the most
that's a
recognizable brands.
matchup this week too. Is Lamar versus Katie, so we'll see.
oh really? They're playing
yeah,
each other.
they're playing
I didn't
each
even know
other.
that. Okay.
Playing each other this
I'll
week.
take Katie in that
That would be a fair bet. I mean, Lamar's got a good defensive line. That's the thing, is they always hang their hat on defense, and you know Lamar's a pretty good team.
So
Michael Lindsay does a good job over there. As head coach.
Speaking of Katie, right? So they lose last year to North Shore in the playoffs after beating them early in the season. This year they lose to Tompkins, breaking that very long, like we just said, district streak. Is it almost safe to say that going in the playoffs this year, Katie is underrated? Which is just weird to say because they are, dynasty powerhouse of Houston football. Are they underrated? I think they may be underrated as a football program.
As a program, no. This year,
No.
maybe because they've had
They just
some
don't have good
stability at the
quarterback play
QB
right
position.
now. Yeah, Bronson McClellan was the quarterback to start the season. He's no longer with the program. They
got studs.
They got some young quarterbacks that are going to be good in a couple of years. They don't have the wide receivers. Their defense is what's going to win them games. I mean, their defense is so good.
Yeah, with Bobby Taylor and Shepard Bowling back
Yeah,
there.
Hunter Washington, the Florida State signee,
Yeah.
is back there too. Really, it's a run game. Offensively, if Jalen and Seth Davis can get going, the Davis brothers, that's going to be how they're going to win games. The one thing that Katie cannot afford to get into is a game like Bridgeland and Decaney last night, where it was a back and forth,
Right.
shootout where
They want to control the ball and
Mhm.
the time
Yeah.
of possession, line of scrimmage. They want a long drawn or a drawn out. Just kind of. They want to hold the ball as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna get some pizza if y'all want to
Yeah,
get on.
they can't get into a back and forth game for sure. So it's up to you on the game that we're watching right now. So Gilmer has a decision to make here, 4th and 2,
Well, Carthage has really
just across the 50.
We had talked about that momentum, right? And
Yeah.
Carthage has really answered. Carthage has
The
really
momentum
done-
meter is starting to
Yeah, it's
go back.
it's definitely in the middle at this point as Gilmer has to run down, take a timeout.
Yeah. Well, you're at the 48 of Carthage, right? So you punt here, you can probably pin them down inside the 10.
Right. You absolutely flip the field, or you have the option of okay, we're at midfield, maybe we go for it, we see what
Yeah.
happens, roll the dice.
You also have a good, dual threat quarterback in Brandon Tennyson who can run the ball. So if the play breaks down, he can maybe get the 2 yards. For the first down or even more.
Yeah, sit down.
I don't know if I was allowed to eat on the stream or not.
Oh, absolutely. We're
So-
hanging out. Come on.
It's just fun. We're shooting with our friends right now.
I should
Sure,
have
with
brought
a friend.
a water or something. I'm getting parched doing as much.
You go to the gas station at halftime.
you just go down the.
We'll go to the concession stand at
We're
halftime.
gonna go to the concession stand. There's gonna be no one on the street.
We're actually in
Just
the
gonna-
bowels of AT&T Stadium. That's where we are.
Deep underground.
location check.
The Dark Knight.
I like these guys that do the face black or the whatever
The eye black.
and they do it all down their cheeks and stuff.
It's like Braveheart.
Yeah, it's like it is.
It
It
is.
does become.
This
war,
is
it becomes
big.
war paint
This is
at
a
some
big
point.
play here. 4th and 2. Yeah, they're gonna try to throw it.
Didn't. Nope. No,
Oh, what a stop!
Blocked away on 4th down.
That's big.
That's a big stop.
Big. Carthage goes and scores here, man. I mean, it's
Well,
a
that,
brand new
like
ball
we
game.
said, that momentum meter was kind of ticking in the middle, and that
it's
momentum
blown,
meter has
it's
now
blown to the left. Now.
it has gone to the Carthage sideline, I think.
Oh, I mean, 5 was. I mean, no
Why don't you
5
roll
for
left?
Carthage was right there.
Why would you roll left?
It looks like that's. I mean, that's not his dominant arm.
I don't
He's
know.
a right-handed.
I don't know why you roll left with right-handed quarterbacks.
Because you're having to then turn your body back.
Any
A left-handed quarterback, you would definitely.
any
do that.
couch quarterbacks, coaches, or other coaches, just let us know in the comments. Let us
Yeah.
know why you do
That's like
that.
something you do on Madden just because you're like messing around.
Exciting game thus far, though. I mean, this
Mason Courtney's got to
They're
get
playing
going.
hard.
They're playing
Mason
hard.
Courtney's gotta get
this
going.
again, it was one of those situations where Carthage was just such a huge favorite that it very well could have been walkout. Okay, we're up by 21 in the first quarter. Okay, we're up by 4 scores at halftime, and the game's over.
Yeah.
But it is definitely not that. I mean, very
no,
close.
it
games.
is. It is not. It is not that type of game, as of yet. It could quickly become that kind of game. But Gilmer's playing. I mean, they're trying to win their first state title in 6 years. So none of these seniors have ever done it. He's gonna air it out. There it is. He's got his
He's got
man.
And he opens
Oh.
him again. Just cannot connect with him. He has thrown that 3 times.
Yeah,
third time they've
he's tried
thrown that
three
deep ball.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 2 were just kind of straight down the sideline. This one's a
I mean, no
post.
pressure or anything.
Oh yeah, just wide open.
Oh.
Just missed
A
it.
yard or two.
Yeah, he knew he wasn't gonna get there. I mean, he could have laid out and tried to dive for it, but I mean, he wasn't close enough.
You ever tried to dive for a ball running full speed? It hurts.
I have not
When you land.
in my premier athletic career that I had.
Exactly. That's not why you became a reporter.
I
It's
think
because
I'm-
you injured yourself
Also-
diving.
I think it might have been like getting cut off like the 7th grade basketball
Right.
team. I think that like did it. I think like when I knew I couldn't make it, then I was like, hey, this is
Maybe I
not
should
the-
write about sports.
Yeah, I'm better about writing and talking about sports than actually playing them physically. Now I will say when I got into college, I mean those what were the club leagues like
The intramurals.
yeah intramurals.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing though, when it comes to slow pitch softball, I'm boss at that. I'm boss at slow pitch softball.
Your boss at slow pitch softball.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a statement that
I
you
will-
just said.
I think like a couple years ago in a game, I went like 4 for 4 with like 8 RBIs. Pretty proud of that.
Nice.
I named myself player of the game.
Flex.
He named himself player of the game.
Damon,
He gave himself a helmet sticker.
Do you have a trophy too? Wait for it.
I went down to the store and got like one of those.
Could I have this monogram? Joshua Cook, player of the game.
Oh yeah, who's this for? It's for me.
It's for a friend.
Yeah.
It's for
for
a friend. It's fine. And
It's for a friend.
it looks like Carthage almost has like the you know how South Lake Carroll they dye everybody's hair blonde to come playoffs.
Oh,
time?
they doing
It looks
the-
like Carthage is doing
they-
some of that action. I could be wrong, but let us know in the comment section. But the QB.
Anything for team unity. Anything
Yeah, I don't know
to
what's
get,
going on
to
with
get the
QB.
guys
I couldn't tell if
together.
that was his hair or if he had like some kind of
Oh my
like
gosh, it's 4th and 14.
head wrap on.
I didn't realize it was 4th down. It's 4th and 14, and
Are they going
Carthage
for
is
this?
staying out there going for it.
It's probably gonna be a QB punt.
Yeah, that's got
Right?
yeah, the way he's stepping
Yeah,
back. Yeah, here it comes his little
Good call,
little
Scott.
pooch punt.
Look at Scott.
Oh,
Good call.
wait, this kid's just gonna catch it at the 20? Dude, I'm telling you, for Gilmer right now, this Dylan Fluellen, the senior wide receiver defensive back, he is on the top of my list for player of the game right now. Top of my list. I mean, two receiving touchdowns thus far, so
Pretty solid.
that's where we're at on that. That's where we're at.
Y'all like Jerry World?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, Josh has been there a few times. As
I've
a
been
fan,
there.
has also covered the state championships.
I've been several times, and what I will say is that it feels like there maybe isn't really all that bad of a seat. In
It's
the
a bad
house.
throw. Oh, what a pick!
Big
Jeez.
interception.
Wow! Oh, he timed that perfectly.
Gilmer
Brandon
quarterback.
King.
Gilmer quarterback dropping
Nice.
back and just lets it fly towards the sideline, and like we said, the Carthage defensive back just skies up for
Dude,
it.
this is Sports Center top 10 right here. Brandon King lines us up and just makes a phenomenal interception. Wow.
Yeah, just needed to throw that ball just more inside. He threw it outside of the wide receiver. Wide receiver was coming inside.
What a snag! What a snag!
Great catch.
That's a helmet sticker.
Great catch.
I mean,
You keeping track of all these helmet stickers?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm just giving them out. It's the holidays.
Just give them out
Everybody,
like candy.
you get a helmet sticker. Everybody gets a helmet sticker.
What do they even mean if you just give them out to anybody?
Well, they mean something.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
Okay.
I think that was offsides on Gilmer. It looked like it.
This is slowly. I mean, early on in the first quarter, this was pretty offensive sparks were kind of flying, and then all of a sudden, we've got a fourth down stop, another forced punt on a fourth down, an interception. We've got the defense really stepping up.
It's been a lot of action.
Yes,
A lot of action.
a lot of action here in one quarter.
2 onside kicks, 1 turnover.
2 onside kicks. That is
That's
true.
big.
I
Yeah.
forgot about the onside kicks.
How did you forget about the onside kicks? It's like all we talked about for
God,
15 minutes was like the 2 onside kicks. Like your player of the game might be the kicker.
At
Like,
this point,
you might just give him the player of the game.
at this
like,
point, I might give them player of the game. You're correct.
be like, okay, we're gonna give.
You get a helmet sticker. You get a helmet sticker.
Everybody gets a helmet
Everyone
sticker.
gets a helmet sticker.
It's the holiday season. I'm very giving right now.
I respect that. All right, looks like. Oh, wait, a flag. I thought they were counting down to the first.
Well, it looked like the Carthage quarterback got dragged down by his face mask. Is what it looked like.
Yeah, for
Face mask. That's what it is.
everyone watching, be sure to, if you haven't subscribed to our channel,
Oh yeah, get that subscribe. We've got great content on the VYPE YouTube page. We've got some highlights of last night's games. We got Dawson North Shore up from last night. We've got several highlight clips from a week ago. We've got some plays of the week videos. We've got coach and player interviews. We've got lots of great content on the VYPE YouTube page. So be sure to subscribe. Check that out. It's the place to be for high school sports, especially if you're here in Houston.
And be sure to follow us on our Twitter account as well. At VYPE Houston is our Twitter here in Houston. VYPE Texas on Instagram. VYPE Texas on Facebook and YouTube as well. Of course, and as people watch us across the state, there's VYPE ATX, VYPE SETX, VYPE SATX, VYPE DFW. So there's quite a few different avenues to watch.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
At least on YouTube, we all put it on the same YouTube page right now. Twitter is broken up. Facebook is just VYPE Texas.
That is true.
Yeah.
Very true. Getting to the end of the first quarter here,
Had some technical difficulties.
It's not my fault. It's probably my fault.
I blame you completely.
I was like, Breaking Par is coming up at 12:30.
with the game.
Breaking Par. I'll tell you how to do that.
That seems like a show that would be.
Do you play golf, Scott? Is that a thing that you do?
Okay, I'm
I dabble a little
gonna
bit.
go get some pizza while we're
This is a
talking
good
about
time.
this. He's gonna somehow subtly
Is it shameless promotion time?
shameless promotion of his podcast here in a minute. This is about to be like. If this doesn't come back, this is going to turn into a 300 par
I wasn't
podcast.
about to do that. I was thinking about it, but I was deciding
I
not
have
to.
brand awareness, right?
Brand, yeah, it's for the brand. 3 under par. Go check it
This is
out.
very disappointing. We made it through the first quarter, and that's all we get.
we got whatever's happening with our video provider here. We are
Well, look, if we're gonna have technical difficulties, this might be the time to have technical difficulties, right? At the
exactly
quarter.
at the quarter
Two
break.
cheese, 2 popcorn.
Okay. I was gonna be looking at the refrigerator. Waters at all.
Somebody asked, where can you watch it? You can watch the game on Fox Sports Southwest.
Fox Sports Southwest. You can go to foxsportsgo.com and sign in with your cable provider information. If you
Yeah,
want that.
that's how we're watching it right now.
Or you can drive to AT&T Stadium. I think those are the options.
Well, the game sold out.
Oh, well, the game's sold out. So you could drive to AT&T Stadium and maybe you could peer in the window.
Refresh.
Shout out to producer Josh.
Producer Josh and producer Bull. I think Bull has earned producer credits for the pizza. Executive producer. even.
Yeah. Ooh.
The only thing that's in the refrigerator is beer, and I don't think I can drink it.
I can put it in my Sonic cup.
Jeez. We can go walk to the gas station at halftime, or Walmart, or
Yeah.
whatever's close.
Well, at this point,
As long as nobody's putting any mercury on the ground.
God.
We low on internet? Is that what's happening?
I hope not.
Oh, we're back,
Okay, we're back.
and the second quarter has started.
Braden Wilson said, "Can you turn the game on?" Again, unfortunately, we can't because of the rules. So
But we've got the score for you. We've got the time for you,
Yep.
and our amazing commentary. I mean, like what else could you want? Now we can't, but like we said, Fox Sports Southwest, foxsportsgo.com. Check it out. It's been a good game thus far.
I think Carthage is kind of starting to show why they're undefeated.
Yes,
Like
that they're a dominant football team. They're kind of getting into
Yeah.
their groove. I think maybe they were shocked a little. You come out, you throw an onside kick at them. They're like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Gilmer's throwing haymakers early on.
Yes, they score on their first two possessions. The second onside kick. I mean, there's just all of this kind of craziness, and I think Carthage is they're settling in now, trying to find their rhythm.
I agree. I'm curious. I know there's definitely a delay since we're streaming the game and then we're streaming the game. So I'm curious how much
That's interesting.
The
I don't
nineties.
know.
It's not as bad as you think.
It's
Not
apparently
30
not as bad as we think.
Oh, that's not bad. So that gives you enough time to watch what's happening, then watch our commentary. Perfect.
You guys are like a replay.
It's a win-win. Shout out.
We're
Yeah.
like a replay. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Let's go full screen.
Watch SEC shorts.
Carthage has the ball. They're driving. They're inside the Gilmer 30 here. As we said, the second quarter just started. Exciting first quarter.
Oh, they're drawing on the TV screen. Haven't seen that yet.
Oh,
Hello.
big run.
Hello.
That's a tie game.
Touchdown.
Big run by the Carthage running back.
Nice.
Josh, is that a helmet sticker? Does he get a helmet sticker for scoring a touchdown?
Helmet stickers.
Oh, he gets a helmet sticker.
And Josh is high-fiving himself, just like we give himself the trophy at softball. So, but yeah, okay, I like this running back. You know why? He's a one-cut guy, it looks like. Takes his one cut, boom.
Finds the crease.
And then, nice.
Just turns on the jets after that.
That was a solid run. Good blocking up front, big hole.
This is what they needed. I mean, they needed, like we said, they needed to find the way to turn the momentum. They got a stop. They got the pick. They've tied the game. I mean, the momentum definitely on the side of Carthage now, and they're. I mean, it looks like they're coming back at Gilmer here, and going into halftime, trying to be up and have that momentum going into the break.
A shout out to Jimmy Jack Gaming. You know who you are. Oh, is it? Are we good here, Josh?
Are we still live?
We're still live?
J-Dub got to get himself some pizza.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still
So we're
live.
still live? Maybe my internet's just slow then. Oh, we couldn't hardline it both.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hard lines here suck.
Again, I don't know if you heard, but shout out to Jimmy Jack Gaming.
Shout out.
Shout outs. The shout out nation. What do you think of the commercials overall?
They're all
I mean, because we're here to comment on everything.
on everything. On everything. Well, I'll tell you what I don't like are these ridiculous new Dallas Stars jerseys. I'll tell you what I don't
You don't like
Now,
the-
I'm biased. I'm biased.
I mean, you're a big
I'm
hockey guy.
I'm a big hockey guy. I'm biased because I don't really like the Stars. But their new jerseys are black and neon green. and they are ugly. They are not good looking. So that's what I'll comment on.
Dude, I thought the Dallas jerseys look great. The regular one,
The regular ones are fine, are pretty fine.
I mean,
It's still
give me
not
a
my
Tyler
favorite,
Sagan
but
jersey and I'll be so happy. I do like the stars.
I'm not a fan of the Stars. I did go to the Winter Classic though, and that was a great time.
It was a good time?
It was a great time.
At the Cotton Bowl?
At the Cotton Bowl. So first of all, I'd never been to the Cotton Bowl, so that was kind of cool to go to that venue. It was cool to go.
Yeah.
But no, hey, that was me this morning running into stuff. But yeah, me and my dad went to the Cotton Bowl last year, and what's crazy is that's like the last sporting event I've been to, other than high school football games since COVID happened. So
Interesting.
looking back on that, I have all these pictures of us at the Cotton Bowl, and it's crazy because there's 85,000 people there, and it feels so weird that event took place.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. It was really awesome to be able to see. If you've never been to a hockey game, first of all, go to a hockey game. If you get the chance to go see something outdoors, go see it outdoors because it's completely different. It's awesome.
I've been to the Cotton Bowl, the bowl game, but it's
Right.
obviously
It's
not
obviously
Jerry
right,
World. It's
exactly. Not at the Cotton Bowl.
We've never been to the Cotton Bowl. I've only been to the Texas State Fair once. Because at least down in Houston, we got the rodeo.
Right,
It's
which is
the Houston version of.
people might get upset at me for saying this, but it's definitely bigger than the Texas State
There's a
Fair.
fighting versus some folks.
I don't know if it's necessarily better, but it is bigger than the Texas State Fair.
All right, we're kicking off here. 14-14, about 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Earlier we were talking about Carthage responding, which they had.
They did.
They did.
Response
I'm
made.
interested to see how Gilmer responds.
Yes, especially being the underdog.
Correct.
A lot of high school football there are defined favorites and underdogs. Sometimes in college football and the NFL, it's a toss up. You have two good teams and you just don't know. That happens, but it doesn't happen a lot. Even at the very high level in Texas football, usually there's a pretty well defined favorite and a pretty well defined underdog. And when you're the underdog, you almost can't play into like the underdog moniker. You have to just say, no, we're not the underdog. And you have to hunt and you have to, just go get it and really just try and assert yourself as the better team. And we're going to see if Gilmer can do that here. Josh is back. How was the pizza?
It's delicious. I'm gonna take a nap at halftime.
Oh, okay.
Are we going to do a shameless plug for the pizza provider, or no? No free ads? We'll say no free ads. Okay.
That was denied.
No free ads.
No,
Cut the check first.
no helmet sticker. Helmet sticker denied.
But Bull gets a helmet sticker.
Yes.
Provider of pizza gets the helmet sticker.
Bull gets like 1.5 helmet stickers.
1.5. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's
Gotta
a
give
lot.
a shaft on that one.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a lot.
I mean,
You're kind of giving them out like candy, so 1.5 seems like it's kind of.
I haven't given anybody like 2 helmet stickers yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Not
It's
yet.
only a matter of time.
Yet
at this
is the
point.
key word here.
Oh, gonna be a deep throw. It was not a deep throw.
Why are you making that throw?
Not
Ain't it third down.
Not what
Try
you're
to force
wanting if you're Gilmer there.
No, trying to force it. Trying to make something happen when it's just not there.
it. That's when you end up getting picked off.
That is, yes.
That
What's the number one rule if you're
offensive line
QB? Don't throw back across your shoulders.
Well, and he just ran. He ran himself out of room.
Into double coverage.
I mean, look, I get that the design play was for him to roll out to his right, but he did not have to, run to the sideline. He had plenty of time and space to give himself some time, but he chose to go to the sideline and
Here
ran
comes your
himself out of
MVP,
space.
Jose Hernandez,
Yeah.
the kicker.
Oh, look at that!
Oh,
Fields it
nice.
off the bounce, and then really a great punt. Oh, and let the roll.
He's got to be the MVP so far.
He is my MVP so far, absolutely.
It's definitely not Scott's internet right now.
Yeah, Scott's internet is not the MVP.
It's not my fault, guys.
Hey, it's not my computer hooked up.
Look, we're trying to we're live streaming the live stream all on one Wi-Fi right now. It's a lot going on.
We're
we're pushing it to its main limits.
Correct. We're actually getting an ad here tonight for a Division I state championship. Lindale and Argyle will be back here for that game. So make sure if you enjoy,
Yeah, we'll be back at 7 o'clock.
if you enjoy this, hanging out and watching some football, make sure you come back and watch the Division I championship with us. That one should be another great one.
Yeah, y'all have fun with that. I'll be watching along. I'll be sitting at home in my chair watching y'all.
Josh, you can blow up the comment section.
I'm going to blow it up.
We expect
The only bad thing is I'm gonna have to.
I'm being told by our producer,
Okay.
giving a little message here. Hopefully we can get
That's
this to
a-
go. That's a pretty bad hold. Oh, there's another deep pass.
Oh, he finally got it.
No, he didn't.
Oh, Calvin Johnson rule.
Review it. I want to review.
Well, so that pass, finally one wasn't too far,
Gilmer
but
saying
it was
no.
too short.
He dropped that right in the breadbasket.
I think they're gonna review this. I think you're gonna have to review it.
He did.
He finally
sure
makes
enough,
it. He
just let it
drops
fly.
a dime here. I think that might be a catch, and the ground forced the fumble. Let's see. He's got it there.
He's got it.
That's a catch. I mean, that's a
I'm gonna
catch.
say no catch because
I'm
of
gonna
Calvin
say-
Johnson
I'm
rule.
gonna say no catch.
Did they change that? The fact that we don't know what a catch is stupid.
Yeah.
Well,
I
they
just gotta
could
throw
rule
that out
here
there.
that it was a catch, a fumble, and then the ball rolled out of bounds, so it would be Carthage ball anyways at the spot.
I never rolled out of bounds though.
Well, eventually,
I'm gonna say incomplete. That's my guess.
I'm gonna also say incomplete.
I'm gonna go catch. I'm gonna say
It's-
they're gonna
it
review
seems-
it.
it
It's
seems
And
gonna
then
be
producer
catch.
Josh says
J
it's
Dub's calling it a catch as well, so we got 2 and 2. Well, this was Bull says
All
catch.
on the field.
Executive producer
we are
Justin
outnumbered
Bull
here.
says it is a catch. I don't know, because I think that you end up with a situation of controlling the ball through the through the action of catching.
Yeah.
But see, is that an NFL
NFL
rule?
or high
That's
school?
well, see, that's NFL. 'Cause if it's not NCAA, because UIL follows NCAA rules, so it'd be where the NCAA.
Well,
rules.
I'll say right now that would definitely not be called a catch in a college football game. I don't think that's called a catch in a college football
I mean,
game.
if Ohio State was playing, it'd be called everything, like because somehow we have to get them in the college football playoff.
Are we going to go there now? We're going to go there now.
I mean, we got a lot of time to talk about things.
So we'll open up.
Ohio State could not play in the Big Ten championship this weekend and still get into the college football playoff
Really?
because they'll just be like
At this point, Ohio
Ohio
you think
State.
literally that tonight or today could be announced like, oh, there's COVID, we're not going to play the Big Ten championship.
Bull and I were talking about this earlier.
Really? You think they could announce it
Ohio
tonight?
State has 2 wide receivers out with COVID.
Yeah,
Has that been announced? I
This
heard
week.
rumors.
For this week.
But I didn't know if that had
they're trying to keep it quiet.
I don't know. I think if they don't play the game at this point,
Who does
that-
A&M get this
They don't
weekend?
want
Tennessee.
2 SEC.
So
And I get that.
So
And I get that.
A&M's gonna curb stomp Tennessee this weekend. Hopefully.
I would certainly hope.
Are we get in trouble for turn to play
Too much.
on here?
Well, I'll say right now that would
Oh,
definitely-
wait, wrong
that's
one.
us.
Yeah, you
That's
will.
us.
You will get in trouble. No, you don't need to turn it. What do you
What?
need to turn it on for? You don't need to turn it on. They're gonna signal it.
Streaming yours too?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, this is my computer.
Turn.
If I turn up the volume for a sec, am I gonna get?
Yes, you
Are we
are.
gonna get a strike?
Yes. Like Lily, I'm telling you, don't turn it on.
All right.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we can see what they're showing us.
Yeah.
I want to hear what the ref says.
It don't matter what the ref says. He's gonna signal it.
Got headphones?
Do I have headphones?
And they are
somewhere
still.
around here.
I mean, they're still going. I mean, they're still looking.
They're still
at this.
reviewing
They're
this.
This is
still-
longer than an NFL replay.
This
They're
is
still reviewing this.
And at this point, I mean, I really couldn't say one way or the other whether.
Well,
this
here's the thing. It was
means-
called an incomplete pass on the field, so they're gonna have inconclusive video evidence that shows that it was a catch.
Are the laces
Yeah.
red on that football?
Wait, I thought they called it an
Yeah.
incomplete.
That's pretty bold.
There.
Oh, see, I thought they called it incomplete on the field.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna get
okay.
the
All right.
call here.
Let's see.
We'll react just like you will.
After review of the play.
Stands. Okay, so the play stands,
So what happened?
and it was
What happened?
called a catch on the field? It was called a catch
It
on the
was,
field.
yeah, first and 10.
So they're gonna. They said it stands, meaning they.
Oh, I'm wrong.
They couldn't say that it wasn't. They couldn't say that it was incomplete, but they couldn't, guarantee that he had caught it. So
Y'all are
That's
ridiculous.
why we get the big bucks.
that's why you.
Hey,
get the big
I called
bucks.
it a catch too. I'd like to
There you go. That's why
say.
he gets the big bucks.
I like to say.
And now we got the game. Oh no, we're back.
Oh, there goes
hey, there-
Courtney again. This is the dude they can't let.
Oh, what a run.
Gilmer cannot let Courtney just go off like this. Like they're letting him
Dangerous.
go running crazy.
Dangerous, yeah. So do you think? Well, we'll go back to the college football conversation for a moment. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you believe that Ohio State is one of the best 4 teams? Not that they should be in the playoff, but do you believe that they're one of the best 4 teams?
They just haven't played enough people. I mean, they would have blown Michigan out of the water. Like they would have played that game.
Probably.
That was
Michigan's
smart
terrible.
for Michigan.
Because Michigan's terrible. Okay, let's just be honest. Michigan is terrible. Jim Harbaugh should have been fired like 3 years ago.
Preach.
And Ohio State would have won that game anyways, but that doesn't really count. I mean, that's like. Anyway, oh, wide open! What?
I'm sure.
How?
I'm sure the corner fell.
Oh my goodness! Oh, he's rocking him to sleep. He's rocking him to sleep. Oh my god!
Carthage, 21 unanswered points.
He straight up rocked the DB to sleep.
He did.
Oh, he fell
down.
out. Oh no!
Quarterback falls down on the play, wide open in the end zone for Carthage. Easy touchdown.
How do you recover
Horn.
from that? If
Kai
you're the
Horn.
DB, you can't recover from that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
can we talk about the celebration though? Okay, he rocked the DB to sleep. Like, oh, I can't. It's too much.
All right. After the PAT, it's
21.
Oh, it's on the old chippy.
Oh, they are talking.
Woo!
Sharp at him, back and forth.
Hey, as long as it stays clean, man, that's competition. You gotta respect the competition and a lot of emotions being left on the field. Honestly,
Hey,
especially
I mean,
these kids that are
it's
seniors.
touchdown.
Right?
It's playoffs.
Gaming.
I mean, but this is a state championship game. This is for the whole enchilada. I mean,
Right.
you're gonna leave it all. on
And
the
for
field
these
at
kids
this
that are
point.
seniors, this is the last two hurrah. It's a lot of these kids that are especially seniors at the 4A level. This is maybe the last time a lot of them are going to play football. They may not go play college ball, so this is their kind of one final chance to leave it all on the field and show what they've got. So unsurprising that there's some emotions being shown, and there is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on looks like on both teams. Yep. So it looks like offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Gotcha. Alright, I'll be back.
Apparently, Scott is leaving the party momentarily. Momentarily.
I'll be back.
21-14, Carthage on top. 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Woo! Exciting. Exciting.
The early charge by Gilmer seems to have been
The fire has gone out a little bit.
put out a little bit. Exactly.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, I do feel like Carthage did do like the blonde dyeing of the hair here, because like yeah, I'm seeing enough of it that I feel like not everyone did. You know where you see it more is baseball.
Yes.
Baseball is where like the entire team and coaches will like dye their hair blonde, which I've never understood why. I don't understand. Someone has to explain it to me. Why everybody
I mean, I think it's
dyes their hair.
It's a team unity thing, you know.
Is
like
it?
It's something wild. It's something crazy. You're not going to just do it, right? But I think that they do it as like a team bonding, and it's also just I think it's just a thing that you do, you know. In hockey, come playoff time, you grow out your beard, and that's what you do. So I think that there are some teams that they'll either grow out their hair real long, or they'll bleach their hair, or they'll do this or that or whatever, and it's just kind of their thing.
It is kind of their thing. My goodness. Yeah, Gilmer's got to get some offense going here, and it's not It's not. And they keep. I mean, he keeps trying to roll out one direction and just not. It's not working right now. I mean, their offense has just come to a screeching halt. 18 total yards in the last 3 drives. They had 106 in the first 2. Like,
well, and here, I mean, it's going to be really important that they find some sort of scoring somewhere, preferably before the end of the half. You know, because if they don't, then that to me says that they were doing something that confused Carthage, but then the coaches, the players, they figured that out. They know what to look for now, and maybe they're a little bit of a one trick.
well, and the other thing to point out too is this is 21 straight points by Carthage.
Yes.
So they've answered their 14.
Yes, they have.
With
They
3 straight touchdowns.
They have
so.
come back absolutely dominant since giving up the early lead. How's a pizza, Scott?
Great.
This is like the second. He was this piece number 3, 2.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging. I'm just
Don't judge me.
I'm just keeping stats.
Oh, big 6! Big 6!
Oh my goodness! It's 28-point run. 28-point
You had
run.
to be careful of something like that, and just like that, all the momentum.
Brandon King, the defensive. He had the other pick.
Did he
That's his
really?
second interception.
Wow.
This one a pick 6. So
I'll
I mean,
come back.
Brandon King putting his name in early for defense's MVP, and I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna do it. Helmet sticker. Helmet sticker.
So the
helmet
ball-
sticker. 3 helmet
They're
stickers.
trying to get a wide receiver back inside to get sort of like a tunnel screen set up, and the ball is just high.
Did 5 touch it? No, he didn't touch
He's
it.
got a man. Quarterback's got a man in his
Oh,
face.
tip.
Tipped by the wide receiver.
Oh!
The wide receiver on the outside is trying to block, and while he's trying to block, the defensive back able to come up, make the play on the ball, shake his man, and PAT makes it. And a 14-point game, now it is 28-14, like that. Very quick. Very quick.
Tip, pick, drill. I mean, there was a play like that in the North Shore game last night. Jacoby Davis
Saw it.
had the interception around the 40 and then took it to the house for the 40-yard pick 6. And man, these coaches are excited. I love it. I love it. I love when the coaches get excited on the sideline.
They're pumped up.
28 unanswered points.
And how could you not be pumped up as a coach, right? Your team goes down 14-0 early.
Yep.
You give up an onside kick. You're struggling on defense. The offense can't get anything going. On the sideline, you've got to figure out a way to keep your guys in the game so it doesn't get out of hand. And at this point, they've just got to be ecstatic.
We got a comment coming in. A guy named Justin Bull is watching our stream. Said, "Is that game?" I don't know if I'd say that game. I don't know if I'd say that game.
I'm not willing to call game yet. Not willing to call game yet. It's only 14 points, and
Scott's pick was looking good early on, but it has quickly fizzled.
I got really confident. Yeah.
We've seen the.
He's like updating
Maybe a little too confident.
He's updating his 3 under par Twitter account right now.
Just picked the
with
game.
sad
right.
faces.
It's been a little dormant recently. Gotta pick it back up. Been busy, man. We're in playoff football right now.
These jerseys.
VYPE has been busy.
These jerseys are terrible.
Okay, hold on.
You
Those are
really hate these.
Like they're awful. They're terrible.
I do like the state of Texas, with the Dallas Star logo on top.
Kinda looks like
That's on their
RoboCop.
normal jersey.
I don't
like RoboCop.
Okay, this is
They
like the
look
most
terrible.
hockey that I watch is when it's an
I'm
ad
telling
for a
you,
jersey.
You're missing out. But those are terrible jerseys.
Okay, I have been to 1 Dallas Stars game. I've been to 1.
It's a blast.
It was
Great.
fun.
They're tons of fun.
I enjoyed it.
I used to love going to the Arrows games whenever they were here in town.
Mm.
But yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all. Yeah, if you can. Let's see if he responds back.
Well, we've already seen the willingness, obviously, of Gilmer to pull out some trick plays, onside kicks, to be a little wild and crazy in this game. And now down 14, and all of the momentum from their early lead is gone.
Yeah, and now
we'll
we see
see
why
how-
Gilmer came out with all the stops to start the game.
And
it almost
absolutely,
went
but
perfectly.
And we're gonna see if they have any more. I mean, we're gonna see if they've kept anything in the bag, or if that was literally all they had. And if that's all they had, then yeah, maybe it is game. But I still think that if they were willing to come out that early, swinging punches, they've still got something left, and I think that we'll see Gilmer try and make a push here, especially before the second half. You don't want to let this thing get out of really out of hand.
They need to
halftime.
score. They need to score here very, very badly.
Also, producer Josh just said that Gilmer gets the ball in the second half, which is
Great news
huge
for Gilmer.
If Gilmer can get this within 1 touchdown by halftime, then they're still in the ball game. Even if it's still
I'm telling you, they need to score like on this drive. They need to score.
You think, or it's over. You think
this is imperative because if they don't score here, Carthage gets the ball back, and they can make it 35-14 before the half. I mean, this is imperative. This is a crucial turning point in this game.
With what we've seen thus far from Carthage has been, some explosive offensive firepower, and with that kind of threat, you do need to stay within a couple. You need to stay right there, because if you let them build a lead, then first of all they're going to be able to start taking some time off the clock.
Mm-hmm.
But second of all, they've already shown you they can score a couple of different ways, and they can score quick. So, I think that at this point, scoring is important, but they've really got to take care of the ball. They've already thrown 2 interceptions, one of them for a touchdown. So you've got to take care of the ball. You can't have any careless throws or anything like that. And just like that.
It's another pick! The same line! Oh my God! Game! It's over! It's over! Good night! Thank you for playing!
My
just won the state championship.
What?
Oh, I'm out!
We need a fit. I think we need 5 helmet stickers. Who's number 9? Can we get a name, please?
Brandon King. Brandon King.
Brandon King. Already.
Give him the defensive MVP.
3
interceptions. Again.
3 interceptions, 2 for a touchdown. This is just an unbelievable, and that's exactly what we just talked about. They needed to get something going. They needed to score points.
Okay, so look what happens here. 5. He almost picks it.
He's jumping
and then,
the route.
But hey, he gets 2 huge blocks here.
Exactly.
Which breaks him free. And dude, 2 pick sixes, 3 interceptions in 1 state championship game? Are you kidding me?
It's huge.
Carthage 35 unanswered points.
Lifelong Gilmer fan, Scott.
This is killing my pick right now.
Dude, Brandon King is my hero right now. I gotta go look some stuff up on him.
Absolutely
this kid,
fantastic.
phenomenal player.
Yeah, really incredible. I mean, and we talked about it. You needed to take care of the ball if you're Gilmer, and I understand there's the need to score and to get back in the game, but man,
obviously, that really had to be for Carthage, but I'm pulled for Gilmer, man. Hey, I still believe in
that's perfectly fine. You're still allowed. Hey, you know what's great, Scott? We've got another game. Well, first of all, the game's not over. Second of all, we got another game at 7 o'clock, and you can pick the underdog in that one too.
I know who I'm picking in that one.
He knows who he's picking in that one.
Okay.
Reminder, come back 7 o'clock for a D1 state championship here on the VYPE YouTube page. We're going to be doing what we're doing now, just hanging out, watching the game, and having a good time. Having fun this far.
You having fun?
This is a good time.
Josh, how about you? You having fun?
I mean, it's going great. It's going great for my pick.
That's all he cares. He only cares about the pick.
That's all I care. And I've only tackled David twice already. So
hey, two pick sixes. I mean, that's a big.
I mean,
certainly a very big deal.
You want to talk about a deep
by one guy. The
way to put your name in for the defensive MVP. That's the way to do it.
One turnover. Much less 3, much less 2 for a touchdown.
So I'm actually looking up UIL. Okay, first off, UIL. I have to get one of these 100th anniversary programs whenever I go to state in January. It's awesome, by the way. UIL does an amazing job at keeping stats and records and everything. I gotta go look and see the 3 interceptions in a single state championship game. I feel like that's gotta be a record, right?
I don't know if it's a record, but I mean, you're starting to get up there. I mean, 3 is a lot, but you have to remember too, in the era of, when a lot of schools even now are still utilizing an air raid offense, right? You have to remember when you air the ball out a lot, there's opportunity for interceptions, and obviously at the highest level for Texas high school football in the state championship game, would not surprise me if someone has more than 3 interceptions in a state championship game. right, I've got to go deal with my broken car now. So I'll be back.
Well, you have fun with that. By the time you get back, Brandon King might have 2 more interceptions.
That
just
is-
letting you know.
That is true. David did get in a car accident on the way.
That is
today,
very
so
unfortunate.
just happy Friday, right?
very
Just
unfortunate.
thanks. Hopefully it will. Well, good news is he's okay.
Yeah, I mean that's
First
the
and
important.
foremost.
That's the important thing is he's okay. Everybody's okay.
The car. TBD.
Questionable.
They're drawing on the screen again.
It's like
That's the new thing they're doing.
there's John Madden level stuff right now.
John Madden, Pat Summerall. That's who we are, right? John Madden, Pat Summerall.
They probably said, "Don't throw that way." That's what they probably
You
said.
see where Brandon King is? He's at 3 interceptions. Don't throw it. Oh, he's going. And he looks that way. I mean, they're going to their top receiver. I mean, 17's been quiet since the first quarter. Oh man, did 6 just rip the ball from him? Oh, it looked like he was just gonna take it from him. He's gonna take it.
Hey, shout out to Derek on the live stream. Yeah, I see you.
By the way, if you're wondering, Carthage 7 state championships. If they hold on and win this one, that'll give them number 8, which will put them as the second most in the state of Texas. Aledo and Richland Springs hold the most state championships with 9 apiece. And then Salina, Katy, Mart, who
Salina?
actually lost.
Salina?
Salina,
Okay.
yeah. Salina has got 8. Mart, which lost the state champion, they were going for number 9.
Oh,
so they were
yeah.
tied for the most. They were actually going for number 9 and I think 4th straight
Yeah,
state championship.
almost got it too.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, they have it down to 5 state championships here.
Okay, wait.
If North Shore
so
wins this year, it'll be number 5.
All right, so who's got the most?
Aledo and Richland Springs.
Richland Springs.
Yeah,
I'm familiar with that.
Richland Springs won a 6-man Division 2.
That might be why.
That would be why. Aledo's won, 9. They've won 2
And at a pretty
straight.
high level too. I mean, it's not necessarily at the highest level, but
Yeah, 5A D2.
5A is
It's
still.
been their last 3 titles, so.
Wait, they've won 3 in a row.
Well, then they're going for their 3rd straight this year.
Are they in D1 or D2 this year?
I don't know. I have to go look.
What do you think?
I
I want to
will-
say D2.
Well, I would assume
Or
D2.
D1.
I would assume D2, but can I see if I
Because who didn't have? Well, what's Manville?
Manville's 5A.
1 or 2?
I think they're D1. I have to go. I get confused on those. I think Manville
Is it Highland Park beat Manville in a Hail Mary?
yes. They
Or
did.
they?
Well, no,
almost-
Manville almost beat them on a Hail Mary, and they had it, and then
1 yard
the
short.
dude got tackled at the 1 yard line.
Oh,
Yeah. So.
that's just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
BYU.
Oh, by the way, if you're wondering, that's by team. So individually, already Brandon King in 4A state championship history is tied with 10 other teams for the most interceptions in a game. Teams, not individual players.
So by himself, he's
By himself,
tied teams.
He would be
He's tied the team record.
4th on the list.
That's pretty incredible.
They don't have individual ones though. That's the one thing they don't have.
Oh, how about this? Permian plays South Lake Carroll.
Oh, that's a fun one.
I'll take South Lake Carroll now.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Here's individual records.
Yeah, Bull. Later, man.
Mr. Bull has left. Mr.
Here you got
Bull.
Katie Taylor or Heights?
Katie Taylor. I go Katie Taylor. Heights has had a
I like
great
Heights. Who
season.
they beat last week? Or no, didn't they?
Oh, that's pass
Oh,
interference.
wow.
Oh, wait.
There's
Where's the flag? Where's the flag? There it is. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Man, Heights winning district this year, 18-6A. They beat Cy Creek last week.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
good one. And then
Wait, who all forfeited last week? Was it George Ranch?
it was unfortunately, it was George Ranch and Fort Bend Elkins, and they were supposed to play Katie Taylor and Katie.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
So Katie Taylor
then-
plays Heights.
Yeah, and then this week, Katie Pato has unfortunately had to call their season due to COVID.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they tried to move the game to Saturday, but then contact tracing and stuff. There's too many players. I think I saw that Dennis Silva reported that it had gotten up to like at least 18 starters would be out for the game. So I mean, that's pretty much
Like Silva.
Yeah,
He does
I
good
mean,
work.
you can't go. I mean, it's just so unfortunate, and just because they were having such an amazing season. Damon Bankston, the running back, over 1,300 yards rushing this year.
Yeah.
C.J. Dumas was awesome to watch at quarterback. Unfortunately,
Man. Yeah, he
I
wants
don't know
one
if that was
back.
more a defender doing it or
I think he just dropped it.
he might have. I have to see the replay here. I really like this quarterback. He stands tall in the pocket. He doesn't really get flustered much, but you can tell he's not a runner. I mean, when he runs, it electrifies the team because he gets all excited.
I was writing the numbers too.
Too much,
gotta catch
too
that.
much butter on the popcorn. Too much butter on the pregame popcorn. That was always my problem when I played this glorious game.
Oh yeah.
I never played
I think
football.
this play's going to be a touchdown.
Oh, you going touchdown on this one?
I'm going touchdown.
Oh, he's going touchdown. Okay. I see.
No way.
Josh W! He's gonna go! He's got one more guy to beat! Oh! Yeah!
You saw it. You got the notification, didn't you?
J-Dub! Oh! 42-14!
Yeah, we're behind, and so I saw it.
Oh my.
Oh!
You knew
You're
it,
not
man.
allowed on your phone.
Producer Josh
That's
called
cheating. That's cheating. Oh man. What a play. Screen pass. I see
Nice.
more high school teams doing this. I
What,
feel
the
like
screen passes?
Like
or-
you get one of your speedsters out there, you get a screen pass, and then you just let them.
It's the Mike Leach offense.
That's
It's
what I'm
the
saying, like bubble screens.
Bubble screens.
That's what Mike Leach would always do: bubble screen, and get annoyed with it. It'd be like third down and like 27. Like we're gonna throw a bubble screen.
You know what's crazy, man? It's 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter.
What are we
They-
gonna talk
they
about
put
the
up
rest of this
42
game?
points. It was funny, dude, because Gilmer was up 14-0, right? And they put up a graphic that said Carthage just averaged 41 points a game this year, and they had like 8 total yards of offense at that point. Well, now we see what Carthage is
Now
really
we see.
capable of. This is unbelievable.
You
They're putting
go
on a clinic right now.
You go look at Carthage's schedule, 13-0 in the season. They beat Kilgore to open the year 27-7.
Uh-huh.
They beat Gilmer 42-14, which is the score with 3 minutes to go in the first half. They beat Pleasant Grove 35-7. They beat Center 56-14. Then they beat Jasper 35-18. They beat Rusk 51-7. Madisonville 56-0, and Shepherd 49-0. Those are their last 2 district games.
Okay.
Gatesville couldn't play in the first round due to COVID. Then they blew out Silsby 49-0. They beat Salado 35-7. They beat China Spring 52-14. They beat Wimberley, a very good Wimberley Texans team, 38-7. So in the playoffs, they haven't given up more than 14 points in a game. And the most they've scored in the playoffs is 52, and they're at 42 points right now. Man, this Carthage team is a machine.
Here you go.
Machine.
Here you go, Josh. I'll give you a talking point.
Are you on? Are you on right now?
I mean, you'll be able to hear me.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, we can just give you the.
What's the- What do you think, in high school sports with 800 plus schools, why is there such a lack of parity at times? I mean, Carthage, you have going, for number 9, and it's like they're 9th in, 15 years or whatever. Why is there such a lack of parity?
Just because the program is so good. I mean,
But is that the only
That's
thing?
a cop-out answer.
Yeah.
Come on.
it's not a
What you
cop out
got?
answer. I
I
mean,
think it is.
well, it's the culture that you develop within that community because kids in the Carthage community, I mean, it's a smaller community. You grow up, you want to be a Carthage Bulldog. That's what you want to be. It's like in North Shore. Those kids growing up in that community, they want to be a North Shore Mustang. Like they're the ball boys on the sideline. They come up through the Little League out there. They want to be a North Shore Mustang. It's a culture thing, and that's what I meant by like at Katy. It's a culture thing. It's like this is the culture.
Yeah.
North Shore, it's a culture. Carthage is a culture. Aledo, it's a culture. the coaching staff. I mean, Scott Surratt for Carthage has been there for 14 years.
Yeah.
And think about it, in his 14 years, they're about to win, what, state title number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? So...
I agree with you. It definitely starts with the coaches. And that's actually Malatesta's hot take is that sometimes I feel like Texas high school coaches are too good at their jobs. That they develop kids really well. So I agree with you there. But also at the same point, you got to work with the talent that you have. Like, so I guess it's more the coaching staff, like good kids. But it's a double-edged sword. I feel like, I don't know, J-Dub, it's a good question because we see the same teams year in and year out make it to the playoffs. It's probably the coaches, but then also the kids buying into the program. Because clearly there are some teams that aren't as talented, but they still go far. I get it. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Well, and I think part of it too is your draw on how you D1, D2.
Good funding.
I mean, community funding is big too. I mean, how much the school board's going to put into, and how much the bonds are going to put into facilities, and
I guess it's
and
also
things like that. So
I mean, I don't know how deep we want to get into the discussion, but like kids move around.
2.5 quarters to talk about.
Well, that's true, but I mean, kids move around sometimes to different districts, and that we've seen that here in the Houston area. The UIL has to get involved sometimes, and it stinks. And I guess if kids are moving in from out of town, like, isn't there? Who's the Katy running back last year? He moved in from out of state, but he was like, I want to be a Katy Tiger.
Yeah.
Instead of like you can go live in one part of town in Katy. If the job is out there, parents move out there, then you move so you can play for Katy versus Katy Taylor or for Cedar Ranch or whoever it is. So maybe that's where the culture thing steps in.
Yeah, I mean,
because I think a lot of it depends on the talent that is there.
It does. I mean,
and the schools that have
you have to have. I mean, you're not winning state championships without having athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you don't have any athletes, then you're not gonna go win state championships. I think it's just the culture that Scott Surratt has built in Carthage is you're gonna go win. You're gonna go win state championships. I mean, think about this. This is gonna be state title number 8 for him back-to-back years. I mean, these juniors and sophomores and freshmen are going to come back next year. The one thought on their mind is we don't want to be the team that doesn't win a state championship. We don't want to be the team that doesn't win a third straight state title. So I think that's part of it as well. So I mean, Carthage, they win this game, they'll be 14-0, state champions back-to-back years. I mean, they're a machine in Class 4A. So, I mean, it's...
Jada, what do you think?
It's interesting.
I mean, that gets I think what a lot of y'all said is true. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons obviously you haven't seen an inner city school win in so long is part, we talk about funding and, there's just, I don't know, it's crazy.
It is interesting. Yeah, the smaller schools are definitely more your Friday night lights feel. It's very much, I want to be a Carthage Bulldog. I want to be an Odessa Permian mojo. I want to play for these schools. And so, you do everything you can to succeed because that is the standard of excellence that you are held to. And, they're doing a nice little graphic of Carthage. I don't think they're too far from Gilmer. Gilmer's over near Longview.
Yeah, just outside of Tyler.
Yeah, population 6,550 people. Texas Country Music Hall of Fame.
Is that the 6,550? Is that the student attendance at Allen High School? And that's like a city?
Yeah. That is Allen High School right there. The entire city of Carthage.
That actually might be lower than Allen High School. I'd have to go
look. Score before halftime?
I mean, if you want to put just the nail in the coffin on this one, you'll go. I mean, oh my gosh, here he goes. Mason Courtney.
Dude, that guy's trying to run through people.
Hey, over 1,300 yards rushing this season. I mean, he's putting on a clinic. I mean, here's the thing: Brandon King, who's got 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes in this game, he's only a junior. That dude's gonna get some offers after this.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like Drones. Remember Drones last year
Came out
had 0 offers.
Yeah.
He had 0 offers, and he got his first one the day after winning the state championship. And then when he ends up with like 20-something offers, Elite 11 quarterback, ends up going to Baylor, like it. I think he's gonna be successful at Baylor. I mean, just imagine the story. Like, he goes to Baylor, takes Baylor back to the glory day, glory of winning the Big 12 championship.
Bro, we weren't that. We played the Big 12 title game last year.
Like I said, back to the glory.
days.
Back to the glory.
It's not that long ago.
I forgot that y'all played for it.
Yes, we lost 2 games last year. We
Didn't-
played the
didn't-
Sugar Bowl against
what-
Georgia.
wasn't
This year in 2020, we played against Georgia.
Wasn't Charlie Burr out for the Big 12?
Yeah, he got knocked out in the first half.
Yeah, that's
And then
because y'all played
Zeno
Oklahoma.
came in.
Y'all played Oklahoma, right?
Correct.
It's still almost won.
Still almost
And
won.
still- yeah.
We were definitely outmanned at that point. It was just
Was
one
that,
of those.
was that Jalen Hurts, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was at the game that Oklahoma came back and won in Waco. That was a tough game. It was a fun weekend.
You didn't talk to us for like a week. You like.
I was very well. No, well, I got engaged that weekend actually, so that was a lot of fun. We just lost the football game. It was just-
You just overlooked the thought of like I got engaged that week. We lost Oklahoma. That's what I remember about that weekend.
No, those are the facts. I got engaged that weekend and we lost Oklahoma. Those are the facts.
What do you remember the most from that?
I'm getting engaged for sure.
You better say your wife Laura's probably watching right now. It's like, make sure. And Hinton, another rush for him. I mean, Carthage is. This is. Gilmer needs to get into the locker room as fast as possible. Like, this is bad.
Oh, I agree.
This is really bad for Gilmer.
I agree. Yeah, I think Baylor would be fine.
Dude, we gotta get Tech back at winning. When's the last time you went to a bowl game?
Well, Matt Wells is 4-6 each of his 2 years at Tech.
I mean, Kingsbury didn't reach a bowl game.
The last time Texas Tech, look at this run. Good for
Big
Hinton.
boys right there
Hinton's-
now.
So we'll talk more of this about halftime about the failures of Texas Tech football. 'Cause we're gonna need a lot of time to talk about the failures of Texas Tech football right now. 28 seconds. I mean, Carthage. Here's the thing: Carthage could just like kneel this, be like, "We're good." No, they're trying to make it 49-14 at the half.
I want to know more about this Kai Horton guy.
First off, what a name, Kai Horton.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Estelle.
Let's go. I feel
seems
like
like-
okay.
he
I
seems
feel like
like
when
he's got
kids are
vintage.
born and you give like the name, I feel like there's like okay, yeah, he's gonna be a quarterback.
Like it's big time name.
Like
Based off the name.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I buy that.
Like
So, my nephew was just born about 2 weeks ago,
okay,
and I'm trying to come up with a nickname for him,
okay,
hoping that he'll be like a professional golfer or professional baseball player.
okay.
So, I think I have an idea.
Uh huh.
I think I'm gonna go, especially baseball. 'cause
Are
he's
you
ready to see
like
baseball.
flushing this idea out right now? Like seeing like
Well, I've talked about it with my wife, and she's on board with it. Well, originally we were gonna go with Champ. I think
okay.
we're gonna go with Slugger though. Kind of like Slugger. Especially because he'll probably play baseball. I mean, he's about 10 days old now, but he'll probably play baseball.
Yeah, I mean, like he can't even like his opening his eyes is the biggest accomplishment that he's
Oh, absolutely.
had right now.
Yeah.
For sure. So what's his actual like God-given name by his parents?
I don't know if I want to say on a live stream.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
The Slugger. I like it.
Slugger. You like Slugger?
I like Slugger. I'm here, Slugger. Or Champ. Champ's good too.
Champ's good. Either one.
Champ is universal. You can use that for like golf or baseball. Slugger.
That's true.
I feel
If
like
he's Slugger, he's got to play baseball.
yeah,
Oh, you got to pick that.
yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta get
Especially
that
if
picked right there.
Gilmer, you got to, like you said, just try to get in the halftime as quickly as possible.
I mean,
a
if
better
you-
way to do that than to pick them off. And
Yeah, if you intercept that there, then you're feeling pretty good about yourself. We're having technical difficulties again on our end, but it's okay. I don't.
hey, maybe turn off the live stream. 'Cause I got it on my phone.
Oh, okay. I was watching for the
That's what-
comments.
That's what producer J Dub was telling me while this loads.
Well, I paused my live stream. So 42-14. I think it's gonna be a halftime score unless Carthage does something insane here, which is possible. It is possible. we turn this back on and it's like 56-14, I'm gonna be like, what happened in 20 seconds? I'm gonna have so many questions.
Well, dude, with how fast Carthage has been scoring back and forth, it very well could be 49-14 at halftime. Technology's so confusing. Why doesn't it work sometimes? Clearly, I'm well versed in this. Oh, David's okay with this car.
Where is? Was he on?
Yeah, he parks right over there.
Oh, okay. Was this the big Suburban?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that was all dinged up. Literally.
Well, at least he was like driving a tank down the road. Like,
Yeah. We were asking him whose fault was this. He was like,
it's kind of everyone.
Well, it's a really busy intersection, too.
That's unfortunate.
Well, folks, internet is slow at the moment, so please hang tight with us. Let us know in the chat section what you think of the first half of the game.
Well,
Maybe we need
according
to,
to the Twitter sphere, we have made it to halftime. Carthage 42, Gilmer 14.
Okay.
So we're officially at halftime of this game. So that means 28 minutes of nothing happening.
So we got time to kill. Now we can talk about the failures of Texas Tech football.
We might.
Or do you want to take a break?
We could probably take a break. Our producer Josh Dubb, I don't know what he wants us to do here. He's figuring it out.
We can talk about the failures of Texas Tech football as well as Dallas Cowboy football if you want.
I mean, I could just like
because J-Dub's were
I could just leave, go cry in a corner for a while, and that pretty much dictates how I feel about both those conversations. What's coming up on VYPE? What we got coming out? We got campus content coming out for FVCA. Got some cool, have a very cool Goose Creek CISD story coming next week about a deaf basketball player that plays for Baytown Lee.
Starter, right? Is he a starter?
He started early in the season.
Okay.
So
pretty incredible.
Pretty happy about that story, how that's coming out. That'll come out early next week. Trying to think what else we got coming. Well, next week's holiday week, so we got some stuff will slow down.
Some Sterling stuff to come out, some TWCA content, highlights as well. You can subscribe to the YouTube page for highlights. We actually have a TV show now too. If you're in the Houston area, it's on AT&T Sports Net. It's called H-Town High School Sports with Todd Freed. Oh, we're good? Okay, yeah. It's hosted by Todd Freed, H-Town High School Sports, powered by VYPE. It's on 6 o'clock?
Yeah, so Monday through Wednesday at 6 o'clock on AT&T Sportsnet Southwest, and then at 4:30 on Thursdays.
The Thursday is one.
Yeah, the Thursday is the different one. And like
it's awesome. I actually really like watching the show because it's the highlights of what's going on. It's like bang bang. They do a team of the week as well. Seven Lakes. Well, they were the team of the week. Last week. I assume they'll be the team of the week again this week. Because they won state championship. Shout out to Seven Lakes for winning the 6A state championship, and also Lovejoy for the 5A state championship, undefeated. We were talking about that. If you want to transition for a sec, Fulshire had a really good team.
Yeah, Fulshire had an amazing
and Lovejoy
team.
Swept them 3-0.
Yeah, Lovejoy.
Big shouts to Lovejoy.
First undefeated season for Dallas area volleyball team. Lucas Lovejoy has always been a power, volleyball program in the city, or not in the city, in the state of Texas. DFW area, they were rolling. A couple of years ago, Kingwood Park knocked them off for their first state championship. That was a big deal.
Yep.
And then Lovejoy has now won back-to-back state championships. And Fulshire last year won the Class 4A state championship, moved up a classification, got back to state. I mean that's really what the story
big accomplishment
is Fulshire wins 4A. The next year they're back playing for a 5A state championship. And here's what's even the crazier thing is next year Fulshire has a ton of the talent coming back. I mean, Ellie Ector's going to LSU. She's one of the few seniors on this team, but you're going to have players back to Fulshire, like an Alexis DaCosta who's going to Baylor.
Sick 'em.
Like a Brielle Warren who has really exploded onto the scene this year.
Yeah, she's going to get offers and everything.
She's going to have a huge offseason, especially if club volleyball can play a full kind of club season this year. You can expect her to have, big offers this offseason. And, I mean, just a lot of talent coming back. Ava Underwood, who's verbally committed to Texas A&M, she's the setter for them. She'll be back. So, I mean, you have a setter back. You have 2 big outside hitters back. Fulshire is going to be really, really good next year. I would not be surprised at all if they get back to a regional final, if not the state tournament again. So,
David.
I was 42 to 14.
Yeah, so David just walked back in after
Before I eat my
looking
pizza.
at the car. And first off, how's the car?
Well, Scott, I'll tell you, the car is bad. It's actually not. The car's ugly, but it's not.
It's drivable.
It's drivable. It's absolutely drivable. It's structurally fine and everything. But yeah, I got in a pretty bad car accident this morning, so I'm fine. Everybody's fine. We're all good on that. But car's kind of torn up a little bit. But it's an old Suburban, so it can take some beating. But yes, okay. It's 42 to 14. I really want to eat some pizza. So tell me what happened, so I can.
Pizza. We'll tell you what happened.
No, tell me what happened. I want to know.
You want to eat pizza while we tell
Well, it
you
was
what
like
happened?
it was the pick 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, pick
No, there was
six.
another touchdown. What was the other touchdown I missed? Because that was 35-14 when I left. That one. I missed that one.
Oh, yeah.
That guy running for a mile and a
It was
half.
a bubble screen.
Yeah, bubble screen.
And he ran for what, 70 yards or whatever?
Yeah, something like that. Might as well.
Jeez.
I mean, we're not doing like official stats or anything. So
Wow. No, but we are doing official helmet stickers.
Heyo.
yeah. So official helmet stickers.
Official.
At the half. Brandon King of Carthage gets like
All of them.
3,
Yeah.
4, 5 helmet
Absolutely
stickers.
incredible.
Get 1 helmet sticker per interception.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
obviously.
and
then
see,
another
but-
one per touchdown.
but if
So
you-
5.
Yeah, so 5.
There you
He's
go.
up to 5 helmet stickers. He's your defensive MVP.
There's nothing that can change that.
I mean, just give
There's
him.
nothing that can change that.
No, like literally, like it won't happen. Like,
it would take so much.
Gilmer could come back and win this game,
And he's
and
still the
still
defensive
Brandon
MVP.
King would give-
And it would take
get the defensive MVP.
so much for somebody else to usurp that.
Now, offensively, I don't know who gets.
I don't either at this
I
point.
mean, 9 times out of 10, it's going to go to the quarterback.
Well, we know the special teams goes to the Gilmer kicker.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
they do.
I mean, if they did
He's
a
a
special
special teams helmet kicker.
if they did a special teams one, I would say yeah.
That's still just an incredible. This is just so crazy to me that it is 42 to 14, and obviously Gilmer came out and they pulled a lot of punches early, and really showed some trick plays and a lot of different stuff. But the fact that they are down 42 to 14 now, it's kind of mind-boggling. I understand, like we said, Carthage heavy favorites coming into today, but the fact that it's 42 to 14, the momentum just completely changed late in that half.
Yeah, it just that was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. 42
All right,
to
gentlemen,
14.
I think it's
We're just
pizza.
reflecting on the UIL volleyball state.
Yeah.
Well,
Shit that was going on.
and I'm
So
sure,
Lovejoy was awesome.
and I'm sure you've already both said it, but Seven Lakes, what a just incredible run.
Yeah, I mean,
We're about to get into that.
we were about to
haven't
get to Seven
actually
Lakes.
talked
You
about
know?
Oh well, there you go. I've set you up perfectly. Now I'm gonna go
Okay.
eat some
You
pizza.
can go eat some pizza.
They're gonna talk about a Seven Lakes incredible state volleyball run.
Yeah, I mean, Seven
Nailed
Lakes. There's so many things about them. So we picked them preseason number 9 in the city,
in just Houston,
in just Houston.
Correct.
Just Houston. We picked
which
them preseason
David and I
number
were
9.
kind of giving Josh a hard time about.
They
that.
were, which is duly noted. It's duly noted when it comes to who's getting a Christmas card next week. I have to go to the post office and not send some things now.
Return to sender.
Return. But Seven Lakes is interesting because they lost in the second round last year, and we knew they had talent coming back. We knew they had Ali Battenhorst coming back. We felt like in the preseason that there were more complete teams in the city of Houston as far as
Okay.
what they had coming back in players and stuff like that. Like we knew they had Ali, we knew they had Casey. We just didn't know if it was going to be enough. Could that be enough to get them to a state championship? we didn't put them on the outside of the top 10 because we know we do a top 20 for the city. So they still came in at number 9 because it was like, okay, you still have to give them the respect that they are a top 10 team in the city.
Right.
Allie played out of her mind. The one thing that you did,
Is she the number 1 recruit in the nation?
She's number 3 in the nation, number 1 in the state of Texas. The one thing that we didn't factor in at that time was that there had really been no club volleyball season. There had really been no touring and playing games every single weekend. And then the season started a month later. There wasn't your traditional tournaments. Like, what had happened in the past years is Allie played so much outside of high school volleyball that she was just tired by the time the playoffs got here. And you weren't getting, like, these kids get tired. They get exhausted. So we saw some of the best, freshest high school volleyball ever this year because they didn't have to go through all the summer stuff and the fall stuff and the tournaments and stuff. So she wasn't tired. And it showed in the state tournament. She had 66 kills in 2 matches.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
I mean, she was fresh. And the other thing, too, I mean, you never want to see a team get shut down because of COVID, but Seven Lakes got shut down for 2 weeks because of COVID. And then they were able to come back from that, play 5 district games in a week, get into the playoffs, and then go win a state championship. I mean, it's phenomenal what they were able to do. They become the first KDISD volleyball team to ever win a state championship. Seven Lakes, it cements the legacy of Allie Badenhorst. She's an Under Armour All-American this year. She's signed to go to Nebraska. She's one of the greatest players to have ever played in the Houston area. Matt Malates actually wrote that, and, he's seen, like, the great Woodlands teams from 2014, 2015, or 2013, 2014. 2014 was the last time a Houston area team won a state championship in the UIL's highest classification. That was the Woodlands.
It's been 6 years or 5 years
in the UIL's highest classification. So back in 2013-14, that would have been 5A.
Sure.
Which is now 6A. And, yeah, I mean, Dallas just dominated it for, I mean, if you look over the last 3 years, Houston has had its chances because Ridgepoint went the last couple years.
Yes,
and, they ran into Flower Mound and some of those Dallas schools. I mean, those Ridgepoint teams were really good. They had Skylar Fields on those teams, which, of course, she is at Texas now, helping them win Big 12 championships. But, yeah, I mean, it just cemented the legacy of Allie Badenhorst. Like, we all knew she was one of the best of all time.
And, her sister Casey was the setter.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like the team was just gelled, that they were just on the same page with everything. And I feel like in volleyball, like in every sport you need that, whether it be basketball or football, like everybody's going on the same page. You got to trust, especially like in basketball, that people are, if a guy's cutting, that the ball will be there at the same time or a receiver or whatnot. And volleyball, I feel like that's even really important too, especially when it comes to setting and hitting. Because it's like you have to anticipate which way the setter is going to go. Is she going to come to you, the outside hitter, up the middle, or whatever it may be? So it just seemed like that they were on the same, they were in lockstep with each other. And yeah, look, they were fun to watch. Big shouts to Seven Lakes.
Yeah, and Casey will be back for her senior year next year. She's committed to go to SMU. So it'll be interesting. This will be if you think about this will be the first time going into 2021 that we will write a Seven Lakes volleyball preview without previewing Allie Badenhorst being part of the team. Now her name will be mentioned in that said preview because we will be saying Seven Lakes will have to replace Nebraska signee Allie Badenhorst, who finished with 66 kills in her final 2 high school matches. I mean, think about that. 66 kills in your final 2 high school matches, which was the state semis and the state championship.
Say what? I don't want that ball coming at me. I'm good.
No.
I don't want her hitting a ball at me. I'm like,
No. And well, one thing we do have to do is Klein on the other side, the state runners up. What a run for Klein. They finished the year 27-1. Devin Taylor's going to Clemson. Annie Antar is going to, I think, North Florida is where she's going to go. They so much talent for that Klein team, and so awesome that you got Klein versus Seven Lakes, Houston versus Houston for the state championship. It went to 4 sets. Seven Lakes wins it 3-1. It's the second time that they've played each other in 3 years. Seven Lakes won that first meeting 3-2 back in 2018. Kate Zora, the job she did at Klein was phenomenal.
Yeah,
this
big shouts to
year.
Klein.
She got her 500th career coaching victory this year as well. And then, I mean, if we're talking about coaches, shout out to Amy Cataline over at Seven Lakes. Second time in 4 years that she's gotten Seven Lakes into the state championship game. They win it. And I think that was part of it, too, is a lot of these seniors, like Allie was a freshman the last time they went to state, and they fell short. I think this year it was like, okay, we have to win state now. We have to win state. Like, this is it. We have one chance. We have one more chance to win it all. And then that's what they did. So
It's awesome.
it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
UIL volleyball, UIL sports is back. I mean, the fact that, we touched on it earlier, that sports are happening. The fact that we have a state championship going on right now is spectacular.
Well, we've
Big
completed.
shouts to the UIL. Big shouts to the communities for buying in, to being safe and going along. And we get sports, man. It's what we want.
Well, and you think about what we've been able to accomplish this fall. You think about team tennis.
Who won state?
Did their state championships. I think Round Rock Westwood won 6A.
Okay.
Yeah, Round
So-
Rock
so
Westwood
Memorial didn't-
won. No, Memorial got knocked out in the state semifinals.
Oh, okay.
They lost to the eventual state champion Round Rock Westwood. So you had team tennis,
Yep.
then cross country. I think we had the Woodlands finish third.
Didn't South Lake Carroll win cross country?
Yeah, South Lake Carroll won cross country.
Yeah, shout out to Kaylee Green, our reporter,
Mhm.
our reporter in San Antonio, who's crushing it. She did a great job of covering the.
And then
Cross-country state
cross country, and then now we got small football 1A through 4A finishing their state championships right now. Out of all the state championship games, so there was 8 state championship games in this round of the state playoffs. Only one has been postponed due to COVID, so they'll play that at some point here in the next couple weeks. I think they have like a month to play the game.
Okay.
And while that's all going on, the 5A, 6A state championship or state playoffs are in week 2.
Week 2, we got time.
Week
What are
2.
they going to do over Christmas? Are there going to be games like the Friday?
Uh,
Because Christmas Day is a Friday.
Yeah,
this
so
year, right?
Christmas Day is a Friday. There will not be any games on Christmas Day. They're not allowing
That's
that.
that's probably for the best.
Due to Christmas is a religious holiday, so can't play games.
Can't do that. Okay.
Can't do like you do on Thanksgiving, where Thanksgiving they play games on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, that makes sense.
But what I've been hearing from a lot of coaches, like North Shore will play on Christmas Eve day.
On 24th.
Yeah, on the 24th, because with the 25th, the UIL said that you cannot open your facilities on the 25th. You can't have kids on campus, so you can't do a walkthrough or practice or anything like that. So if you played on the 26th, you would last see your kids on Christmas Eve, then go a day without seeing them, and then walking cold on
For a game.
on the 26th. If you played at like 11 a.m. or 1 o'clock,
Okay.
you don't really have a chance to do anything. So I think you're going to see a ton of games on Christmas Eve. I think the only way you see games on the day after Christmas is if a team, for some reason, had to go into, they have to contact trace or something like that, and they have to move the game in. So you have at least that window to reschedule to the 26th.
Interesting. Okay.
That's
I
my
hadn't thought about that.
that's my in-depth knowledge of
nice. Inside knowledge with VYPE Media, Josh Cook. You can
Now-
go follow him at Josh Cook 09
Mhm.
on Twitter.
Joe Cook, JOKOCH09.
Okay.
I created it back in college. I don't even remember it most of the times.
I didn't
It's
even
fine.
create my own Twitter account. Somebody did it for me. That's honestly how my
Scotty
nickname.
T?
Yeah.
Really?
As Scotty T24. Sup. No, yeah, somebody made it for me, and I'd never actually gone by that nickname before, and
I thought
this person made it for me.
I thought that would because you like golf. I thought Scotty
Well,
T
that's-
was
That was her idea. She's
okay.
she's like, you like golf?
Yeah.
TEE. Oh yeah, it's
TEE.
Scotty T, like SCOTTYTEE 24. And I just kept it since.
just kept it. Just kept
My
it
wife
going.
says I spend a little too much time on Twitter, which she's probably right.
I spend
She is right.
I spend way too much time on Twitter. I think every time my phone lights up, my wife is like, "Are you on Twitter?" I'm like, "No, I'm on Instagram." But I was about to be on Twitter.
Does that make it better or worse?
I mean, not really. If you've gone on our Instagram, it does not make it better. No.
You can follow us on Instagram at VYPE Houston.
That's where all our highlights go. I mean, it's great. Right now they're showing. I think this is Lovejoy. This is Lovejoy and who? Everman. Yeah, Lovejoy and Everman. I like that the old ballpark in Arlington. They put a football field in there for the XFL team, the Roughnecks. Well, now they're using that for high school playoff games. I mean, that's pretty cool. I like that.
I have thoughts about this, actually.
You have thoughts about playing
I have
football?
thoughts about this. I have thoughts about playing football in a baseball stadium.
Okay, what's your thoughts?
Well, in particular, this one.
Oh, okay.
And look, I don't fault the UIL and them like playing the game if the field's already there. It's a field.
Yeah, the field's already there.
The field's already there, then they play, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Here's my deal. The
Okay.
ballpark in Arlington is beautiful.
Uh-huh.
What was it called? Globe Life Park, whatever.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's always going to be the ballpark.
Yeah.
The ballpark is spectacular. Is it hot? Yes, absolutely. And I
Yes.
understand why they built a new stadium over there.
Very much
But the
so.
fact that it's just still a relatively new stadium, it is gorgeous, a classic.
I think they built it in 2000? Or is that Minute
Or is it like-
Minute Maid was built in 2000.
Yeah, that was
Minute Maid
Minute Maid.
opened in
I
2000.
think the
'cause they
ballpark was mid-90s, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. But it's gorgeous, classic look. It's just hot as ever can get out. I don't like the new Ranger Stadium. I'm going to say it. I don't like it. It looks like a Home Depot on the outside, like a Home Depot warehouse. The turf and everything, it doesn't look like a great stadium to me personally. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm biased because Minute Maid Park is beautiful here in downtown Houston. And look, I just don't like the new ballpark. I love the old ballpark in Arlington. And I think it's a travesty that they have turned that into a virtual parking lot or football field now. Like,
Well, I mean,
it's just
when the Roughnecks, when the XFL was around for the hot second, it was.
whoa, what a flash in the pan that was.
Like, which apparently it's coming back in like 2 years.
with The Rock.
With The Rock,
Yeah. The Rock has been like,
The
we
only
shall-
way I would want the XFL, in my opinion.
Welcome to the XFL.
That's the moment. That's a great 30
Vince
for 30.
McMahon.
That's a great 30 for 30. Have you watched that 30 for 30?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's phenomenal. And they were like, that's the moment we knew we were in trouble. Like, they were like, when he came out and introduced it that way, we knew we were in trouble. They were showing a graphic up on the broadcast about 5A games to watch, and one of those was Shadow Creek versus C King, which is tonight. That's an interesting game because Shadow Creek blew out Clear Creek in the first round, which doesn't surprise me at all. C King, beat Channel View very handily in the first round, which doesn't surprise me at all. But I got to see C King
win as a 6A.
yeah,
king,
first
right?
win as a 6A
awesome.
6A program. So I got to see C King in person. That's a good football team.
Both been ranked in the VYPE rankings all season.
I mean, Gerald Wembley coming out of the backfield, he is a load to bring down. If you do not game plan well for him, you're in trouble.
Okay.
Like, he is strong. He will test the Shadow Creek defense. Cameron Kishon is very good at quarterback, knows how he can run a little bit. He's got a good arm. Defensively, Evans is on the line. He's going to go to Wyoming. He's a big DN. That
Big 99.
Big 99.
Yeah.
Big Will.
Big Will.
Big Will coming at you.
Come on.
Big Will, Wyoming. Give him a cowboy hat and everything and send him up to Wyoming. I don't know. I mean, I want to say Shadow Creek is going to win the game,
Because of Shadow Creek.
because of
Is that
Shadow
right?
Creek. I think it's going to be like the Duquesne
We
Bridgeland
might be
game.
losing our backdrop here, Josh.
Our backdrop is starting to go.
It's drooping.
It's
Oh.
drooping.
I heard the tape. going. But
See how it looks on the stream.
there's our
great.
producer Josh W.
Great,
coming
Josh
in to
Dub.
say-
Everybody,
Looking
everybody,
great.
everybody
Thank
there in the
you.
audience. Big clap for J Dub.
big high fives. Big
This-
high fives,
this-
everybody.
none
Coming all
of-
the way from Leander, Texas.
Yes, all the way to
Shouts.
Houston this morning. So I mean, look, this would not be possible without this man right here.
100%.
Set up all of this amazing equipment. Mike's camera phone is what I
Action.
said. Mike's camera, getting our sound and everything
if he
set
left
up.
this setup, if he came back like once a week and we did this setup, we could just do Locker Talk live in here once a week.
Bro, I was going to talk to you about that.
You only,
You're
you, only,
talking-
you only have to drive in once a week, Josh. Doesn't that sound reasonable?
So that's why I broadcaster. Pay me $800. You can use this.
Uh-oh.
All right, we gotta talk the Bull. We gotta get Bull back here. Oh man.
All right. Well, second half, we're getting closer to kickoff. Obviously, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know why I just thought of this. I think that the Dallas Stars games are the most awesome sporting event to go to in the Metroplex. I just had to say that real quick.
I mean, have you been to a Cowboys game? I mean,
Yeah.
It's a pretty good.
What was that?
What was that face?
That is just that.
Yeah, I've
that
been to a
just-
Cowboys game.
That just sounds like it. Just sounds like
That was
I
a
have
lot.
an okay
That was a
time.
lot of
it
shade.
sounds like what it is. It sounds like the Cowboys are not very good, and you're not.
Well,
afraid
look,
to
the
say-
experience of going to Jerry World is spectacular, as we touched on earlier in the stream.
Yeah.
It's just it is everything that is built up to be, the actual
Yes.
facility itself. But the Cowboys stink.
Well,
Not
this
good.
year, yeah.
Sorry, producer J Dub. I just got a bad look
he's-
from him.
Mute. I don't know why Scott's audio all of a sudden just went out. It just
Working?
it was a technical
Yeah,
difficulty.
well, look, the Cowboys aren't very good, and like it's a hassle to try to get into the stadium because you got to park so far. It's really expensive. All that stuff. Like I had a better time going to the Cotton Bowl personally, but
Well, yeah,
and
I
I would
okay,
argue-
if we're talking about financially, how much like your financial experience is, yeah, you're gonna spend a lot
I'm
more
just
money.
saying, there's
going
nothing
to
like a
Jerry
live.
World.
I'm not a big hockey guy. There's nothing like a live hockey game. A live hockey game is electric. It is fast paced. It is so much fun.
I'm a big hockey guy, and there's.
I feel
nothing
like y'all should go to a hockey game together and like live stream your experience from the stands or something.
If you think it's a good idea for us to live stream from the VYPE YouTube page our experience at a Stars game, let us know in the
or
chat.
any other hockey game.
I'm
It doesn't have to be the Stars.
He
We're
doesn't.
not going to Pittsburgh to watch the Penguins.
We could.
It's a write off.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
a
write off.
Reimburse it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, second half's about to start here. 42-14. Scott, do you think Gilmer can do anything to come back in this game? You picked him early, which seemed to be the right answer.
If the game would have stopped after the first quarter, I would be sitting
Stop
great.
the count.
You would.
Stop
Stop
the
the count.
count.
Stop the count.
We didn't stop counting.
Or if
Was
I
the
had bet-
problem.
Here you go. What if Carthage pulls a Gilmer and onside kicks this opening kickoff?
A big, bold pick from producer
you know
Josh.
what I think that is? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the stream.
That would be insult to injury.
That is insult to injury.
That would-
That's right.
That would
is
be
it.
taking salt
That
and
is
just
a
pouring
huge
it into the
middle
wound.
finger.
Look at this. Look at this. Gilmer, second quarter yards, -3.
Wow.
-3. That is absolutely nuts.
That's like some.
If they go for the onside kick here, that's just such a huge like, I hate you, like
No.
F you type thing.
No.
That would be
That is
awful.
it would be a big
-3 yards in a quarter is like circa like 2016 Baylor football or something.
Dude. When we won one game, hey, at least we didn't lose to Kansas.
That's true.
Even if Baylor wins one game, we don't lose to Kansas.
As long as you.
SEC.
I didn't
man.
even look.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, now the other
Okay,
side.
That's all right.
Oh no, it's gonna go.
Oh, hold on.
Here it
Hold,
comes.
please.
Our VYPE backdrop. We're working on a set.
The
for
beautiful
This.
VYPE backdrop.
I think we had meetings about this, but we just didn't. We didn't bring strong enough tape.
And as the backdrop falls, the
This is great. This is great for the,
the
live
second
stream.
quarter is going to begin, and no onside kick. No
Oh,
onside kick
you
by
cowards.
Oh, but
Oh, he almost fumbled
Yeah,
it.
Gilmer
he
messing
almost
up
fumbled
the-
it at the 5. Okay, so Gilmer here. I think you just have to like take a deep shot. Like, you were
to me, if I'm Gilmer,
like okay. Look at the drive. Touchdown, turnover and downs, and interception, punt, interception, punt. 3 punts, 3 interceptions
Well-
for their last 6 drives.
well, here's the thing. If I'm Gilmer here,
yeah.
my goal is to
Score points.
Well, obviously, but here's the thing: I don't want to try and be, I don't want to play hero ball. I don't want to immediately just think I have to get everything back in one throw. I want to play my game, go back to my game plan. If that means running the ball, if that means short passes, whatever that means, that you need to do that. And if you end up losing the game, you end up losing the game. But I think that it's been proven at this point that Gilmer cannot say to themselves, we need to play Carthage's game plan, because that hasn't worked. They are not necessarily going to go constantly big play after big play. They need to play their game plan. That's a big hit. Big hit. They need to stick to their game plan and just trust that the offense can hopefully get some scores, the defense can get some stops, and maybe they work their way back into this game. But I just think you have to stick with your game plan at this point.
Kip Lewis on the big hit, and then the big fist pump as well. I like it. He was the one that on the second pick six by Brandon King, he was the one that nearly picked
the ball. Yeah,
well, he had the ball go right off his hands, like he was going to pick it off, and then it went into Brandon King's hands, and then he took it to the house. That was a very Gilmer needed to move the ball, at least get a first down,
and they couldn't do it. I mean, just a quick little pass to the right side, but just really great tackling. I mean, I will say that this Carthage team has tackled very well, and that's something that I think kind of gets lost at higher levels of football is the skill that it takes to be a good tackler, and they've been tackling very well. Obviously, not giving up big yards after the catch or broken tackles on run plays. So that has paid off obviously for Carthage, and they're getting the ball back here on the punt, and a pretty good punt. I tell you what, we, Scott and I have been almost kind of joking about it, but this kicker for Gilmer, I mean, he's really done his job. He can't.
He's been the MVP.
He absolutely has. I mean, there's nothing that you can do about the offensive side of the ball when you're the kicker, right? Mm-hmm. You don't throw the passes, you don't catch them, you don't run the ball, but when it's time to kick off, when it's time to kick field goals, when it's time to punt. Yeah. This kid has really answered the bell on this one.
Got like 26, 27 people consistently watching us. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. We're giving this little style a shot. We've never done anything like this, but thought it would be fun. We love watching these state championship games, obviously. Oh, big run by Carthage. That's a touchdown.
See you later. Mason, Courtney, that's your offensive MVP right there.
Wow.
Deuces by number 2.
Wow. Just like that, 48-14. Wow. After the PAT, it would likely be 49-14. Just absolutely running away with it.
You just can't stop this train. It's a 70-yard run.
Yeah.
There was nobody. Load the box. Goodness gracious.
And that's part of what Carthage has done throughout this game. They have proven that they can throw the deep ball, and so you have to respect that deep ball. So if you feel like there's an opportune matchup on the outside, well, maybe you have to double team that guy now. You have to devote safeties to being on one side of the field or the other. And obviously, like we saw here, people are spread out, and
I just got cold.
You just got cold?
You just got cold?
Put on a jacket.
I don't know if it did. That was a Mack. You could drive a Mack truck through that hole.
Yeah.
On that offensive line.
And
it wasn't even
that's
close.
another thing that maybe we hadn't talked on a bunch. Great blocking. Blocking by Carthage thus far.
They are winning the battle in the trenches. They're winning it defensively. They're winning it in every facet of the game. They're winning this game. And what's crazy is, this is the first state championship game this year that's really kind of gotten out of hand.
Well, no, the 6-man, the 1A D1 game got out of hand bad.
Did that get out of hand?
Well,
bad?
so in 6-man, if you don't know, they do a mercy rule if you lead by 45 in the second half.
Oh, okay.
And it was over on the first play of the second half.
Oh boy.
Big, huge win by Silver City, which, again, they were great. Just awesome to watch that game. And if you haven't checked out 6-man football, it's just entirely different to 11-man football, but it is a blast.
So this is funny on our on Twitter. Steven Peters, who does some work for us up in the DFW area, he's actually at I think he's actually at this game right now covering it for VYPE DFW, and he tweeted 27 seconds ago. He said, hey. Chris Del Conte, he tagged Chris Del Conte, the athletic director at University of Texas. He said, "Go get Surratt from Carthage next year as your new head coach." He's one. He knows how to win. He knows how to win.
Knowing how to win at the high school level and knowing how to win at the college football level are very different. I'm not saying he
You
couldn't.
know who tried to do that was Riley Dodge at South Lake Carroll. He went to North Texas, which is right up the road from South Lake Carroll.
Let's talk about
Didn't have as good success, and now he's back at South Lake Carroll, and South Lake Carroll's in the conversation for a state championship.
I mean, Chad Morris, right? He was at Lake Travis for a long, long time. Wasn't that Chad Morris?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Chad Morris. Yeah,
was at Lake Travis. Was very successful at Lake Travis, and then obviously got his kind of breakout role as the OC at Clemson, and but since then has had kind of struggles.
Wasn't he was the head coach at SMU? He
was.
he had good success at SMU.
Well, but then he had almost no success at Arkansas, and
I don't think anybody could have success at Arkansas right now.
I mean, I don't know about that. The guy that's
I don't
there
know. You got
now
Malik
is
Hornsby up there though. He's a baller.
is playing well. Got some more technical difficulties here in the
I blame
here in the studio.
Scott for this.
I blame VYPE Media.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
And thank you, VYPE Media, for allowing us to do this live stream. As soon as I said that, I was like,
as soon as it came
I
out,
blame the company
how about
work
I blame
for.
VYPE, not VYPE Media, because this was before all the companies merged.
Oh.
We're in the old office.
You're
here.
not making this better. You're not making it better. You might need to just leave.
So back to the game
When
here.
when you know you're in a hole, stop digging.
I mean,
Sorry, y'all.
this is this is the point where
We're gonna wonder where Scott is when we come to work on Monday.
he's not gonna
I'm on vacation.
He's not gonna
Forever.
He's not gonna tune into the Zoom meeting on Monday. Be like, where's he at? He must have forgotten about the meeting.
Whoops.
This is unfortunate. I think it's in the third quarter right now. It's like 49 to
49 to 14. We're in the third quarter. It has been anything but a close game since about halfway through the second quarter. It has not been close. in a
Scott
long
was
time.
all excited in the opening.
I was
like,
fired.
Well,
up.
the opening minutes were exciting. I mean, not even to make it dramatic. I mean, it was very exciting. I mean, it was 14-0, and then Carthage came back, and it was 14-14, and there was a bit of a struggle for a little while as to who was going to kind of assert control of the game. But since that time, I mean, it's been all Carthage. Josh, you have any basketball teams you're particularly excited to watch in the Houston area?
Shadow Creek.
On the girls' side, Side Creek is phenomenal. I mean, you got two Texas signees there in Rory Harmon and Kendall Hunter. Taylor Jackson's a really good senior as well for them. Just overall a solid, great team. Clear Springs has come out looking pretty good as well on the girls' side. We kind of knew that they would be good. I haven't really had like a chance to. I see the scores come through. I just haven't had a chance to like fully flip the switch to like
Post football.
Yeah, post football. I know Shadow Creek boys have been really good. I know Tascasita boys have been turning some heads early on in the season. So that right now that's the magazine that's actually out on stands right now is our VYPE basketball preview magazine.
VYPE basketball preview magazine also
Yep.
live at VYPE.com. You go and search 2020 basketball preview on VYPE.com. Lots of articles in there. We've got features on teams, features on players.
Yep.
We've got player interviews. All those can also be found at VYPE Media on YouTube. Lots of great content. Lots of written pieces, features, as well as video and photo content.
We do write some stuff every once.
Shout out, by the way, to VYPE photographer Bradley. He has been killing it. Another great year for him. Oh, man.
Oof, that was a collision.
That almost was picked off again. But, yeah, VYPE photographer Bradley's been killing it with pictures this year. And you see all these beautiful pictures on the cover of the magazines. You see the beautiful pictures that we post on Twitter and on Instagram and, anything that's in an article or any stills that are in our videos. He's the man that's heading those up. So, big shout out to him for making all of our wonderful Houston athletes look great. I mean, they're great in and of themselves, but he just knocks it up to that next level.
Couldn't agree more.
Gilmer gonna punt here, 4th and 4. This is kind of the point in the game where I hate to say that.
You just put your seniors that didn't get a lot of playing time.
I don't want to say
for
that
Carthage. You just roll them in there and just let them have 2 quarters of glory.
And I don't want to say that Gilmer's like giving up, but you are kind of in the situation where, again, not giving up, but you maybe have accepted what's happening and you're just trying to, keep your head high and just finish out the game.
Well, Carthage rolling out there. I mean, their starters are staying in there. I mean, they're not taking the foot off the pedal yet. I mean, Scott Surratt showing his state championships 2016, 17, 19. He'll add 20 to that, so 4 in the last 5 years. I mean,
Stout. Yeah.
That's
a lot, I think.
That's up there. That's up there.
It certainly goes up there with, the great runs of state
what
championships.
Allen had 3 straight.
You talk about Allen and
North Shore 3 in the last 4.
And North Shore in their run and
3 and 5. Sorry, 3 in the last 5.
Obviously, this will just add to that. 4 championships in the last 5 years. I mean, that's just it's remarkable. And even if you're at the 4A level, even if you're at the 2A level, I mean,
it doesn't matter what level you're at.
It doesn't matter because winning these football games is hard. I mean, especially when you're at the top of these classifications, you're seeing the same kind of teams a lot. Big strike downfield. Oh, it's dropped. He has slowly come into that deep ball into this game. I mean, early in the game was having trouble. He was overthrowing them. We saw one where he underthrew it, and it was still a catch, but it was underthrown, and he's slowly coming in because that's right on the money. I mean, it may be just a little ahead of the receiver, but it's pretty much right on the money. And Carthage quarterback really come into his own here, finding the deep ball.
Yeah, number 10, Craig McNew. He's had a couple of them that were tough catches, but
he also had a passing touchdown.
Oh, that's right.
On the trick play, so he's had a passing touchdown. And
so I mean,
big receptions really nice as well.
They're just, I mean, it could be just a off the charts game too if he were to go with a couple catches. So
that's true, and not give the obviously the Gilmer defensive backs any credit. I mean, they're staying with the wide receivers. Obviously, one of the Carthage touchdowns, a defensive back fell down, and that's always hard. But for the most part, these Gilmer defensive backs staying with the wide receivers, not giving them a ton of space or opportunity to make easy plays on the ball. So, good on them for staying honest.
Oh, they're showing highlights of the 2014 playing against Southeast Texas Traditional Power West Orange Stark.
That's weird. Is that only 2014? Because that end zone looks pretty old. That is AT&T. Well, I guess AT&T was built in
2010. I'm kind of surprised, or maybe not surprised. The Southeast Texas region generally has a few teams that play, whether it be Newton, West Orange Stark, PA Memorial, whatnot.
Yeah, this year
they were lost in the first round.
They were
Hightower?
Yeah, they got beat by Hightower 41-34 in a major. I would say that's been one of the bigger upsets of the 5A, 6A state playoffs so far. Is Fort Bend Hightower winning that game? They went in that game 3-4 on the season. They beat 9-0 Port Arthur Memorial team and
3-9.
3-4. 3-4.
Sorry.
Still, I mean, a losing
record going in.
Yeah, but Hightower.
They had a tough schedule.
Yeah.
They had a tough schedule, but they got into the playoffs. Great job by that team. Jacoby Longino, the quarterback, he's committed to go to UTEP, I think. Yeah, UTEP. He's gonna go to UTEP. Ooh,
big
defense,
sack, big Gilmer sack.
Big boy, 27 coming through and getting himself a sack on the stat sheet. I mean, he just blows up.
Jemerson. The DL and RB, kind of like your boy from earlier.
I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, 4A and down, you see a lot of 2A players. A lot of 2A players, like the punter kicker. He's the punter kicker, and he's also like a linebacker too.
That's just such pure high school football. Playing both ways and being a part of a big part of the team on both sides of the ball and doing everything. It's just such a traditional high school football kind of thing. Tripped up, couldn't get loose.
Hey Josh, we also got the TAPS State Football Championship this weekend. Any thoughts on who's going to win at the TAPS level? You kind of giving me a blank look here, man.
Cypress Christian is having a phenomenal year.
Okay.
Into the state championships. The only Houston team that is going to play for a state title this year in TAPS is Cy Christian. They're a good little football team. Good for them. They
4A?
Yeah, the 4A. Yeah. You know, Regents is into the 5A state championship after defeating Second Baptist last week.
Yeah, which that game was a lot closer than what the score reflected.
Yeah.
It ended up being like 34-17, but
it was like 14. It was like
or 14, whatever.
Well, they were down 10 at the half, and
he's
my
still
God,
loose.
Mason Courtney's still going.
A great
dude,
run on a third down and 11. They get a little screen
I hate
set
that camera
up.
angle. On a side note,
Yes.
ugh, when it's that field, come on.
They get a little screen set up, get it to the running back, get him in space with a chance. They just wait by their time, and then boom, out to the right.
Great screenplay.
Running back screen. He's got all the blocks in the world. Cuts it back. Spin move. Whoop. It's a beautiful spin move sound.
I'm not gonna do it.
Spin
I gotta
cycle.
do loud. I'm not gonna do the Chris Berman.
Spin cycle.
Spins.
Dude, so I think it's set. Mason Courtney is going to be your offensive MVP, and Brandon King is going to be your defensive MVP of the game.
I think that's probably right. I mean, at this point, the two of them have certainly asserted themselves as clearly the best on either side of the ball. But
oh yeah, they changed it to like D1 and D2 at the TAPS level, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not 5A, 4A.
Yeah. So it's Division 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is what they do now. Yeah, exciting at VYPE. We're at 1,055 subscribers now.
Thank you for that, right?
Yeah, if you're subscribed,
We've gained 2 in this show alone.
and thank you.
appreciate you.
If you're subscribed to VYPE on YouTube, thank you very much. If you're not, go click that subscribe button. We've got lots of great video content coming up, not just weekly, almost daily on the VYPE YouTube page. Lots of great interviews, both players and coaches, even team interviews. We have preseason, breakdowns for different teams and schools, and not just the what would be the big sports, not just football and basketball and volleyball. No, we've got swimming, we've got what are some other of the more unique sports we've got on there?
Water polo.
Water polo.
Yeah, we talk water polo.
We've got tons.
Talked water polo.
We've got sports all over the place.
Soccer.
Carthage scored. Carthage scored.
They scored again?
Apparently, we missed.
Oh, yeah.
We're having, again, some technical
I blame
difficulties.
Scott.
But like I said, come and join us at the VYPE YouTube page. Lots of great content. If we don't have something that you'd enjoy, then I would say branch out, because there's a whole lot of stuff on that YouTube page. And
Call Josh.
Anybody that's subscribed already, thank you very much.
For the content, yes.
We certainly appreciate it, helping us get to 1,000 subscribers this week. We celebrated that this week. Big achievement for us. So thank you if you're subscribed to VYPE on YouTube.
Hey Josh, you got Clear Falls or Westbrook?
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna go
we're
Clear
kinda
Falls.
speaking of Southeast Texas.
yeah.
Really?
Okay, Okay, so you can pull up the bracket. Let's go pick 'em. I like pick 'ems.
We'll go pick 'em for
just-
tonight's game.
Yeah, once we get technical difficulties.
All right, well,
This game
I can pull it
going
up here.
back.
We'll go.
And you gotta like rapid fire them too.
Okay, rapid fire. I'm about to
right,
pull
you
up the
look it
bracket.
up.
We're gonna
Okay.
start with 6AD1.
All right, here we go. 681.
All right, we're
Here we
gonna do Houston. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do this.
Oh, we're not doing. Okay, we'll do 4A later. Our predict. Well, Josh, you're not going to be on our live stream tonight.
Yeah,
for
so
the
we're gonna have to get your
Argyle game
game
tonight.
for the Argyle game tonight. We'll get that later.
Okay.
We'll get that later.
Okay.
All right. First up this evening, Cy-Fair Tompkins. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Cy-Fair.
Really?
BFND,
Oh.
LJ Johnson is gonna have a big game. I think Carter Cravens and company, they like to throw the ball a lot. Cy-Fair's defense is pretty good. Tompkins has had a great season, but I think Cy-Fair gets to the regional semifinal to take on North Shore.
I've got Tompkins.
I'm going Tompkins too.
Okay.
I think to your point earlier about Katie,
Mm-hmm.
if Cy-Fair can play their game and control the ball and control the time of possession, Cy-Fair will win. If they get in a shootout, it's going to be Tompkins.
Cy-Fair scored a lot of points this year. I mean, I know they lost the game to Bridgeland 41-29. That was their only loss. They were 9-1 on the season.
Has Tompkins lost a game?
Tompkins?
I
don't think so.
No. I don't think, because they got through everybody, and they beat Katy. I just
got the feeling.
Hey,
the thing about Cy-Fair,
Sean.
Here's the thing. I think the thing about Cy-Fair is that they have better quarterback play than Katy does.
Than Tompkins?
No. Then
you're saying
comparing the two, Katy Tompkins beating Katy was big, but if you're saying like I think Cy-Fair's quarterback play is better than what Katy has
can lead them
right
to
now,
win.
and they're not one dimensional like Katy is at times.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going with Cy-Fair.
We got some stats here. Mason Courtney, 14 carries, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, the running back for Carthage. Carthage scored again.
MVP.
Running up the score. Not running up the score. That sounds bad. But continuing to score.
56-14.
Really putting it on Gilmer here. And, I mean, I think it's safe to say this game is over. Yeah. It is 56-14 with a little over 4.5 minutes to play in the game. Or in the third quarter, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. But we're going through the 6A D1. This is Region 3. Next game up, Jersey Village and Ridgepoint. Who you got?
This is an interesting game because Jersey Village came off a big win over Bel Air, and then Ridgepoint, knocked around 7 Lakes in the opening round. I don't know how much stock you can take in both those games, but I do know Ridgepoint quarterback Bert Emanuel Jr. had a huge game last week. Of course, he's the son of Bert Emanuel, who played in the NFL, played at Rice.
It has the Bert Emanuel rule.
It does have the Bert Emanuel rule.
Yeah, go look that up if you're.
John Paul Richardson is at Ridgepoint, who just signed with Oklahoma State.
Was that scholarship or preferred?
A scholarship, yeah.
Okay.
A scholarship.
Another interception. It's the same. Oh my
is it Brandon King?
That's four
interceptions. Dude, here's the thing. Brandon King, you have the defensive MVP award already.
You don't have to keep picking it off, man.
4 interceptions in the same game?
4 interceptions, 2 for a touchdown. I don't know. Honestly, name the last time, maybe even in any level of football, you've seen a defensive performance that strong.
I mean, it was an overthrown ball, and Brandon King just played receiver. And
snag.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
4 interceptions in the same game. Brandon King. College coaches around the country, he's a junior.
Go look him up.
If you are not texting Brandon King right now or his coach, you done messed up.
Watch the film.
Dave Aranda.
He's gonna have offers from Baylor, Texas, U of H, UTSA. Well, UTSA offered Doug Brooks after yesterday's game.
Did he really? Oh, here's another big carry.
Wow.
Big carry by the running
Mason
back.
Courtney's going to have 300 yards rushing this game. This is a machine happening right now.
Goodness.
Absolutely ripping it up. You didn't pick Jersey Village, Ridgepoint.
Ridgepoint. Ridgepoint's going to win that game.
Yeah, I got Ridgepoint.
I would also have Ridgepoint.
Yep.
Last game here in Region 3 of 6A Division 1. We got Atascocita and Pearland.
David doesn't even need to pick this game. I know who
so
he's
full
gonna go
disclosure,
with.
David went to Pearland High School. So
That's like you.
Oilers.
Like, do you can you even unbiasedly pick that game?
Can I unbiasedly pick it? Yes. Am I
Will
gonna?
he?
No, absolutely not. Go Oilers. They're going to get Atascocita tonight. No, they're not.
Wait. Are they?
No.
So you're not picking Pearland?
Look, do I want Pearland to win? Absolutely.
This is like picking a restaurant with your friends. You're like,
it's the worst.
Wait, where guys, where we're gonna go eat? Oh yeah, we're gonna go eat here. Okay, well who's picking? Okay, who's driving? It takes you 45 minutes to figure out where we're gonna go.
Well, don't worry, it's not gonna take me 45 minutes to tell you that Pearland just does not have the talent this year to beat Atascocita. They showed. Honestly, I was really impressed by last week's win over Clear Springs. I was very impressed. They led that game big. They let Clear Springs get into the game late, but they let it big for a long time, and I was very surprised to see that after the season that the Oilers had. I still love my Oilers, still want them to do the very best, but no, I'm gonna say Atascocita is gonna win that one tonight.
I'm gonna go Atascocita as well. Landon King at receiver, the Auburn signee. Cam Dewberry on the line. Just Gavin Session at quarterback. He's a savvy, junior. He's going to be there for this year, next year. I mean, just too much experience for Atascocita. I think Atascocita moves on. So if our predictions are right, we would get, well, if my predictions are right, we would get North Shore versus Cy-Fair, and then Atascocita versus Ridgepoint next week in the semifinals, with then the winners of those meeting in the regional finals / state quarterfinals.
Right.
Where'd you find that bracket?
Where to find the bracket? On that website.
Okay.
Yeah, on
That's
the UIL
helpful.
website. Go to athletics. Go to football or high school sports football. High school sports football.
So Carthage winning this
Oh,
game
you're already there. On the
56
side,
to
on the left.
14.
There's state champion.
Mason Courtney's
Play
rushed for
practice.
like 235, 240 yards.
To tell Scott how to use a website.
Brandon King
Websites are hard.
has got 4 interceptions. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
There's literally dudes
Stout.
that do not have that many for a season, and he's
Absolutely.
got that many in a single state championship
in
game.
one game, and like you just said, for a state championship,
And 2 pick sixes.
absolutely incredible.
He's got 14 points to his name.
He has been where he needs to be when the ball gets there, and he is obviously unafraid of the moment. Putting on an absolute show on defense this afternoon. So
I think I'm part of. Sorry, I'm back at the bracket now. I think I want Tompkins to win because I want to see Tompkins face North Shore. We've
Would
seen
be very interesting.
North Shore play Cy-Fair before,
Yeah.
and I want to see Tompkins play North
so
Shore.
Tompkins versus North Shore would be interesting because what everyone's going to talk about is that Jalen Milrose signed to Alabama, Demetrius Davis is signed to Auburn. This is a super early preview of what the Iron Bowl could be in a few years.
I hadn't even considered that. I hadn't even considered that. I want this to happen way more now.
Running back wise, Marquis Shoulders is going to go to Tulsa. Shadrack Banks is going to A&M. I mean, you have talent all over the field.
Yes.
The question is going to be, can Tompkins stop LJ Johnson? I mean, they were able to slow down the Davis brothers and Katie, and
They did enough to win.
It took Tompkins the perfect game to beat Katie.
Right.
Like Katie had won 75 straight district games. It took the perfect storm, took the perfect night for them to do that, and that's what happened. If Tompkins beats Cy-Fair, Tompkins is riding on a high right now because they won their district for the first time ever. And
As
they
they
beat
should be.
Katy for the first time ever. And first time Katy hasn't won their district since 2008 when Cinco Ranch won it. So, yeah, I mean, Tompkins is probably one of the hottest team going into the playoffs. Now, if they beat Cy-Fair, if they get to North Shore, yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
Touchdown.
And
There's
another touchdown for
another
Carthage.
Carthage touchdown.
it wasn't Mason Courtney this time.
It wasn't, but just an absolute blowout at this point.
Montrell Smith, the senior tight end, taking this one in.
Good for him.
Absolute
Senior
destruction.
getting
his due.
Absolutely, yeah.
What a play!
Quick little
What a
shovel
play!
pass.
Because they fake it to Courtney. He does the delayed handoff, then the little Brett Favre shovel pass forward. So that's a passing touchdown for the quarterback Kai Horton, and this is about to be a 63-14 game with 27 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And I'll be honest, not that I thought this was going to happen or even hoped this would happen, but this is why I went with Carthage. This is the reason, because they've been doing this all season. They've been just absolutely obliterating teams. And so when you see something like that, sometimes you just have to say, all right, as much as, I'd love to see the underdog win, it doesn't always work that way sometimes.
All right, so where are we at on the bracket?
So we're moving over to
stuff.
Division 2 now. Moving over to 6A Division 2. We've got Lamar and Katy.
Did you go to Region 2?
Go to Region 2.
Did you go to Region 2
No,
of
I
6A
didn't.
Division 1?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Come on, yo. Let's
I'm
do all
sorry.
of them. Can we do all the regions?
We do all of them?
Well, I don't
Absolutely,
know
we
anything about
can.
the other regions.
Here's
We're talking
Region
about
2.
Houston.
Region 2, we got Westfield and Klein Kane.
It's going to be a good matchup.
You got that one.
Westfield won this game last year. They made a deep run where they eventually ran into Dallas Jesuit, which had Emmett Smith's son as the running back, of course. Westfield's got Cardell Williams
I feel bad for the Gilmer Jill team.
at quarterback. Westfield offensively doesn't have as many weapons as they did last year. Last year they had Kendall Taylor. They had Malachi Jones. Jones went on to play at La Tech. And then Kendall Taylor, I think he went on to SMU. I can't remember where he went. They had a lot of weapons on offense. Defensively, Westfield's always been really good. Klein Kane is a much better team this year because they're a year older. So Jadon Blue, the number 1 running back in his class in the country, he's a junior now. Michael Golden is a junior now. They're getting good play from Roper at quarterback. Defensively, they have some pieces as well. I'm going to go the opposite this year. I think Klein Kane wins this game. They want revenge for last year. I think Jadon Blue has a big game, and Klein Kane moves on.
I think that Westfield, we were pretty high on them early in the VYPE rankings, and then they lost that game to Spring. And I think that at that point,
That was awesome.
It was. And I think that at that point, we almost kind of maybe not wrote off Westfield, but stopped talking about them less certainly. And
Well, yeah, I mean, when you don't win your district championship, yeah, you're gonna
right. But that game was early in the season. I mean, that was
Yeah.
not a late season game. That was an early season game.
And it took a Hail Mary by Spring. to
Exactly.
win it. I mean, it wasn't like
right. It wasn't some dominant effort
Yeah,
or anything by
exactly.
Spring. Not to take the win away or anything, but
yeah.
so I don't know. I like Westfield. I think that maybe they have enough to get it done.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Westfield. I like Jaden Blue a lot. I just think Westfield they
Too
got
much?
studs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're just a little too much.
So we got Westfield, Klein Kane.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have
and,
wrong, probably right.
and you know who they would face if it's Westfield or Klein Kane, who they face in the regional semis in Region 3.
More than likely a top
It's
5
pro-
team in the country. Yeah,
It's gonna be Duncanville.
Yeah.
Oh,
And unfortunately, I don't see either one of those teams getting past Duncanville.
Unlikely.
Unlikely.
that's a tough draw.
Unlikely.
Yeah, it's a tough draw.
The
Tough
other
draw.
Houston area Region 2 game, we got Spring and Klein Oak.
I'm gonna go Spring. Bishop Davenport's just been too good at quarterback.
He's balling
He
this
had
year.
over
Yeah.
450 yards of total offense last week. Had 3 passing touchdowns. I think
They
2
They
rushing touchdowns.
demolished the Woodlands.
Yeah, the Woodlands did not stand a chance. What do you like? You like
We know the Woodlands, right?
We wish Matt Malatesta was here so we could
No,
remind
he's-
him how
He won't-
badly
he won't see this video until like next Thursday when he's back.
Back in
on.
the country.
Stamp it for him too.
We,
Where
yeah.
we at now?
We get,
How far are we into the broadcast?
we're like
I don't know, a
2
little while.
2 hours and 44 minutes.
2 hours 44 minutes, so we need to timestamp that.
We've talked about a lot in this broadcast.
We have.
I'm gonna need a big nap after this.
Yeah, look, the
I'm
Woodlands.
just saying. Woodlands did not stand a chance against Spring.
No,
I'm
they
sorry.
didn't. They didn't. And
That was a clinic by Bishop Davenport and company.
What do you think about
I
Klein
didn't
Oak?
realize
Do they?
that Spring switched quarterbacks to start the year. Like wasn't
So Bishop Davenport moved in. So Bishop Davenport
Okay.
came in from Del Valley, where he was the newcomer of the year last year in that district. So Davenport moves in. He signed now to Furman University, and he's really just fit in well into that offensive scheme, and he's just been really good. He's got Alden Bradley out at receiver as one of his big targets. So this is going to be good. But Klein Oak is not a pushover team at all. They got Preston Hatter, who made his varsity debut last week. He got one of the VYPE helmet stickers this week.
Mhm.
Which
you can go check out on VYPE.com.
Which you can, and especially because VYPE helmet stickers are powered by Houston Methodist Orthopedics and Sports Medicine every single week.
This is true.
Did you like that subtle plug there?
Shout out to Houston Methodist.
Yeah. Preston Hatter had a big week. Drew Barra plays really well at quarterback. He can pass the ball around. I just think Spring is just too much. But here's the thing about Spring. They get through this game. In the next round, they get Rockwall or DeSoto. So that's the thing about Region 2 is at some point you're going to get out of Houston and you're going to face the Dallas teams. And to get out of this region completely, you got to get through probably Duncanville.
Yeah.
I mean, DeSoto's got that DN who just committed to A&M too. Like DeSoto was traditionally a very
Very good
DeSoto
team.
won a state championship just a few years ago.
exactly. So kind of, I'm with you. I think Spring gets past Klein Oak. I think this is going to be a dogfight of a game. I don't see either one of them getting past DeSoto because I think DeSoto would be Rockwall. And so out of Region 2, it's going to be 2 Dallas teams. I think it's going to be Duncanville versus DeSoto, and that's going to be a heavyweight matchup.
That will be a heavyweight fight for someone to get into the state semifinals.
And it always is, though. I mean,
It
when
is.
you get to the
When you reach the third, fourth,
when
fifth
you
round of the playoffs,
when you
it's
reach the
dogfights.
region, the region championship game, when you get to this far in the playoffs, I mean, those are just big games. They just are, and that is the beauty. That is the beauty of Texas high school football playoffs. Is like we talked about last night. Bridgeland goes and they win in 4 overtimes, right?
Mhm.
You have this stuff early on where you have these really tight games early on, even with really good teams. But inevitably, these teams are going to get to the state quarterfinals. They're going to get to the regional semifinals. They're going to get to a point where they're having to play great football teams.
Yeah.
And that is just the beauty of it, is we get to see great football teams line up against each other and duke it out, which is just awesome. Absolutely great. We are spoiled.
Yeah, we really
so
are.
bad.
I mean,
here
I'm
in
even looking at
Texas.
Region 1. Midland Lee faces Trinity. I think I'll take Midland Lee on that one. And then Allen versus South Garland, I'll take Allen. I think Allen beats Midland Lee. So then, but on the south side of the bracket, we touched on it earlier. Permian plays South Lake Carroll. Louisville plays Martin. Well, I'm sorry, Martin won. I would have picked that. I think South Lake advances against Permian and Martin. So then you have a Allen versus South Lake regional final. That's what you want coming out of Region 1,
That'll
too.
be fun.
Absolutely.
South Lake Carroll, a lot of people think. I think South Lake Carroll has the number 1 quarterback in the class of
Yeah, he just committed
2022
to
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
After decommitting from Texas,
That's right.
by the way. Just saying. Just dropping that in there.
And one thing I didn't realize in Region 4, Westlake is in D1 this year. Westlake won D2 state championship.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So I don't know as much about these schools, but I mean Westlake is Westlake. You got
So real quick back to the
Yeah, I think
Carthage game. I think all
Carthage
the
is
I think
pulling
the main,
all the starters.
the main starters are getting pulled because Coach Surratt's out there hugging every single player as they're coming off the field.
And honestly, why not, right? We're just starting the fourth quarter. Basically, there's just over a minute gone in the fourth quarter, and so he pulls his. They get the ball back. He pulls his starters, and then able to put in the second string guys. Because here's the fact of the matter: 63-14.
yeah,
You're up by 49 points. I mean, the game is over. It's been over for a long time. I think that why not get the second string guys in there, let them enjoy an opportunity to play in a big game. I mean, it's still a state championship game. Obviously, it's very different than at the beginning of the game when you're trying to score a lot of points and the game seems to be pretty much over now. But
yeah, so I mean,
allowing these kids the opportunity is
to
huge.
play. So I need to give a shout out to a coach that I know, Austin Hall. Austin Hall is an assistant coach now at Carthage. He was at New Caney over the last few years. That's where I met him. He coached baseball and football at New Caney, and he moved on from New Caney after last season and went to Carthage. So congratulations to you, Austin Hall, Coach Hall, as win a state championship with Carthage, 14-0.
Awesome.
So I'm actually gonna message him on the old Facebook here.
Heyo.
10 minutes to go in this game, up 63-14, and ready sending him the congratulations. But
Don't check the timestamp on that, Coach.
I know. Well, actually, I'm gonna send it after. I can't do it. I can't do it with 10 minutes to
jinx
go
him.
in the game. But yeah, 6A is gonna be really good. 6A Division 1. So I think we gotta move on to 6A Division 2.
Yeah, I think
I
real
won't
quick
be
in
here for tonight, so I can do all my picks right now.
in Region 4.
Yeah.
I don't know many about these other teams like Mission and United South. I know Steele and I know Westlake, so that's why I think they're going to be in the Region 4 finals, and I'll pick Westlake to advance. So that means in this Final Four, theoretically, if things could play out as my crystal ball says they will,
Scott's crystal ball.
so they automatically will. I got North Shore, Westlake, Duncanville, and South Lake Carroll. I mean, those are like some of the most recognizable programs across the state of Texas.
Absolutely.
But I very well could be wrong.
recent years at least. And there's always that one team
Yeah.
that's going to come in and at the very least maybe they don't make the state final, but maybe they make the quarterfinals and they're going to come in and they're going to come out of nowhere and they're going to blow stuff
All
up.
the way to state like Duquesne did.
Exactly. Maybe they're
Or
going to
even
go
Cy-Fair. Like I don't think we were predicting Cy-Fair to win state a couple years ago.
Yeah, they went Division 2 that year. And
I think D2 you're more likely to see a dark horse.
You are.
State.
I think D2 you have we were talking about parity earlier. In 6A Division 2, 5A Division 2, you have so much parity.
Yeah.
When you get down to those, because those are the programs that are just on the fringe of being that classification. So
Definitely.
you don't have those big, attendance numbers that you see in the Division 1. sections.
Okay, D2.
Yeah, 6A D2.
All right, you want to start with Region 2? Lamar, Katie.
I'll go Katy.
Yeah.
Wins that
Yeah,
game.
Katy
they had a
easy.
bye week last week. Lamar's a good football team. I think they keep it close early, but I think Katy wins that game, moves on.
I agree. Hold on. Carthage has 596 total
A
yards
new
today.
Class 4A title game record.
That's impressive.
And to think, Gilmer was up 14-0 at one point.
63 unanswered
Your crystal
points.
ball is not.
what could
Yeah,
have
wait,
been.
should we be trusting
yeah,
your
wait,
crystal
hold
ball?
on. What about this crystal ball thing?
Check the tape. I think I said Carthage
Yeah.
is going to win, but I'm just going against the grain here. That was my.
We will have to roll that back.
I don't know if I remember that.
I think you were like, yeah, Gilmer's going to win this game.
I think you were pretty. You were pretty unashamed, which I appreciated at the time. But now I kind of look back at it, and I'm like, I
Check
don't
the
know.
tape. I'm just saying.
He just didn't want to. He
I
just
wanted to be like, I'm different. I started singing I'm Different song. You haven't heard that since 2015. I'm different.
Well, you can't sing it unless
I'm
you're actually
different. All
different,
right.
Scott.
Who else we got? We got Shadow Creek versus CE King. We touched on it earlier. We talked about it earlier, but Josh did not give an official
I
pick.
don't think anybody. Yeah, nobody picked.
I'm going to Shadow Creek.
I watched Shadow Creek play North Shore, and to be fair, it's North Shore, right?
Yeah.
It's not,
Mhm.
and they played great against North Shore. They lost,
Yeah.
but they played great. I mean, that was just such a not in sportsmanship or anything, but it was a dirty game. Like, it wasn't clean. There was nothing that was like.
You could tell that no one
they were-
had a real off
No.
season and
Well,
things
and,
were just kinda
it was
getting-
like the game was just good. The defense
Yeah.
was both of the defenses were great.
Mhm.
And it just North Shore kind of overpowered them. And I watched that game, and then obviously I watched. I went to the Pearland Dawson game, and I was able to watch that game, and so
Yeah.
I was able to kind of take some inferences about Shadow Creek based on their performances against Pearland and Dawson, having seen both of them. And I don't know if we get the Shadow Creek team that played North Shore. I honestly don't know. They can beat anybody if it's that team. But if it's the team that came out and played, they beat Pearland, and they narrowly lost to Dawson. But I just think that that district was not as good as maybe as it was hyped up to be this year.
Mhm.
And if that team shows up, I don't know if they win. So it depends on the team. My gut tells me that they're going to be ready for the playoffs and that Shadow Creek can take it, which when I started this sentence was not what I was going to say. So there you go.
Interesting. You literally just talked your way into
I talked
it.
my way into it. You're correct.
He had to.
I mean, here's the thing. To your point,
he had
Shadow
to
Creek's
convince
lost
himself.
one game in their first 2 years of program existence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that game was a state
It's a
championship
state
game.
championship game.
And then this
Exactly.
year they've lost a couple of games, and that's
But that's
to
okay.
be
This is the first time I
expected.
think they've had adversity.
But serious adversity. yeah.
Right. So we'll see how they overcome adversity. But the fact that they've been in the playoffs before, they've beaten San Antonio Wagner.
They've been there, done
They've
that.
beaten, yes. That's they know how to win. And come playoffs,
Yeah.
Kyron Jones and the rest of those guys down there, they know how to win football games.
Yeah.
Led by who's the coach down there? Brad
Butler.
Butler. Yeah.
Well, and
He's a good
I
coach.
think
He'll-
that their
We'll have him ready.
their very physical style of play is a playoff style of play.
Yes.
You've got to be fast and physical in the playoffs because this is when people are tired. This is when you really have to show that you are the better team, and they are usually at the very least the stronger team. I mean, when they played North Shore. Again, North Shore won that game, but there was nothing in that game I saw that told me that North Shore outclassed them in athleticism or strength or anything. So I think that that's a real key asset that they have going into the playoffs.
So my pick.
But I haven't seen CE King this year. You have. You're pretty high on them. Surprisingly high.
Yeah, but I mean, they were really good, but Channelview is no Shadow Creek.
Yeah.
That's part of it too. And I saw, for instance, I was at the game where Dawson beat Shadow Creek, and then last night I saw Dawson get,
They got beat worse by North Shore than Shadow Creek got beat by North Shore.
True. Yeah, and that's where my
They
thought
got
is, where
Right.
it's like,
smoked by North Shore.
it's like, okay, was that Dawson Shadow Creek? And that was just kind of the perfect storm. It was one of those things that Dawson just had everything go right that night, which they did. And the thing about that game, though, was Shadow Creek, Kyron Jones, he really brought the team back to force overtime. And then in the end, he throws an interception in the end zone, and then they kick the field goal to win the game. And that's how Dawson won that game. I'm going to go Shadow Creek in this game. I think it's a close game. I don't think Sea King gets blown out. But I think Shadow Creek, like you said, they've been there. They've done that. They know how to win games. Now, have they won games at the 6A level? Well, yeah, technically won in the playoffs. Yeah. But still, I mean, when you're playing teams like Highland Park and Frisco Lone Star and things like that, like, you have experience playing big-time games. So,
right, true.
I'm going to go Shadow Creek. I think the state champs move on to the next round.
Heights and Katie Taylor?
Katie Taylor.
Yeah, Katie Taylor.
I think Katie Taylor across
Heights
the board.
has had a great season. They won their district. They won a playoff game. But Katie Taylor, I think with just Jay Jensen at quarterback, the offensive line with
O-line's great.
Hayden Connor going to Texas, Bryce Foster going to Texas A&M, the running back, I can't remember, Casey Shorter going to Army. Defensively, you've got the guy going to Colorado who was one of our big players of the year.
Oh, Taylor.
Last year. I'll tell you.
He's a football and baseball guy, right?
No, he's just a
Is he a linebacker?
He's a linebacker. I have to see. Hold on, what's his name?
So we agree, Katie Taylor. We'll come back to that in a sec. Next one, Westbrook and Clear Falls. You say Clear Falls, right? I think
Yeah, I'll go. Oh, Trevor Woods. Trevor Woods.
Yeah, not
had
Taylor.
a phenomenal year last year, like 150 tackles. He was our VYPE Defensive Player of the Year. Phenomenal year for him. He's going to Colorado. So Katie Taylor just too much for Heights.
Talk about Westbrook, Clear Falls. We talked about Southeast Texas teams a little while ago, and they're kind of almost floundering this year in the playoffs.
Is that fair to say, Josh? You think floundering?
It's not the strongest year that they've had.
Certainly not the strongest.
The 409 is very proud.
They are very proud.
And you want to talk about one of the teams they're proud of? Beaumont Westbrook.
Well, I mean, they played
one of the only six. Or is them and United, right?
It's them and United, the 2 6A teams, and United got beat up by. Oh no, United.
I think
United's a 5A.
Oh, really?
They played Manville.
Oh.
In the playoffs, I think.
Okay. So Westbrook is the only 6A school in Beaumont area in Southeast Texas.
Well, no, that can't be right. Hold on, I'm getting all confused.
I mixed them up. Anyway, I'm going Westbrook because I like the quarterback, Bryce
Anderson. He's going to LSU. Yeah,
the LSU
talented
commit,
kid. Really talented,
pure athlete.
Yeah, he's a pure athlete.
I
my gosh, it's 70-14 now with 4 minutes to go. Carthage is just pouring it on at this point.
Yeah,
and they've put in all their reserves as well. That's Javarian Roquemore, the junior quarterback.
If we butchered your name and you see this, Javarian,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yep, we apologize.
I mean, just
in
good
advance.
quarterback keeper there, keeps it to the right side, gets in. I mean, Carthage, 8 state championships. Size up the rings, boys. Size up the rings. Start the bus, size the rings, get the parade ready. Carthage Bulldogs are
like we said, we've already discussed it, right? We already know who our players of the game are. We can go ahead and even say that. Offensive player of the game,
Mason Courtney.
The running back was absolutely incredible.
Phenomenal.
Defensive player of the game,
Brandon King.
The defensive back was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
4 interceptions.
If those two are not unanimous across the board, because what happens is at state, now I don't know how they're doing it this year because there's less media members that are being allowed to go.
Right.
They usually do a voting through the press box of who your player of the game is.
Right.
It should be unanimous that Brandon King
is
overwhelmingly
unanimous.
Defensive player of the game. And Mason Courtney, 250-something yards rushing. There he is. There's they got Austin Hall. Man, yeah, there's my coach.
That's your boy.
Just talked about him. There you go.
That's my boy. I got to text him. I'm going to text him later.
They already showed the graphic. This is the most yards by an offense in 4A state title history. They're up 70-14. They've just absolutely poured it on. They were down 14-0 early. Yeah. I mean, right? It sounds so ridiculous to say that Gilmer was down or that Carthage was down 14-0 early.
Yeah.
It just sounds ridiculous.
And here's what's crazy about Carthage. Here's what's crazy about Carthage, guys. They're going to bring back Kip Lewis, the linebacker who nearly had the interception that tipped into the air.
Okay.
they're going to bring back the quarterback Javarian Ruckmore, who just ran in that touchdown. So he'll be your quarterback for next year. They're going to bring back Brandon King, who has had 4 interceptions in this game. They will graduate Kai Horton, the senior quarterback, so he'll be gone. Montrell Smith, who's going to University Central Arkansas, the senior tight end, he'll be gone. He scored a touchdown in this game as well. I mean, they're going to have some pieces that are going to come back, and you've got to be pretty excited if you're Scott Surratt of coming back and trying to win your 9th state championship next year.
And shout out to Gus Garza. He said Texas should seriously consider hiring Scott Surratt and the whole coaching staff.
The whole coaching staff.
staff.
Bold prediction.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what Stephen Peters said, our VYPE DFW writer. He said the same thing, right?
Well, no, he said
I didn't
that
say the whole staff.
He said that Texas. He said the Longhorns should hire Surratt.
That's what he said.
That's what
Texas. Yeah.
That's what Gus here said.
Oh, he's saying Texas. I thought you were saying the
UT.
Texans.
No.
I thought you were saying like the Houston Texans.
No.
Sure, that too.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the Texans could use the help. but
Either or, both.
Whatever. Texas probably
I mean,
should. I think that's a decent take, and I don't know if there's actually going to be any steam behind that, but hey, I'm buying it. I'm here for it.
So back to the
Oh, yeah.
bracket. Scott and I have both got Westbrook. What do you got, Josh?
You know what? I'm gonna go Clear Falls. I'm gonna go the upset.
Just gotta be different.
Want to be different.
Well,
I
here-
tried that earlier today. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work for you. It didn't work for you. Clear Falls, Pearson Morelli has come through and played really well at quarterback. They've played well. Westbrook is a very up and down team. Very up and down team. I was, against Tom Memorial, which Tom Memorial was really good. They got into that shootout with them, and Tom Memorial won that game. Bryce Anderson's an athlete. I think I don't know. I just want to be different. Clear Falls. Clear Falls wins the game.
Okay. Clear Falls Knights. Are they the Knights?
Yeah, the Knights. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Region 2.
What do we got?
We don't really know this one. Tyler, Legacy, and
Our backdrop's going
Cedar
again.
Hill.
There it goes.
Oh well.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate. I
I'm
think
gonna
Josh
go
W is
Cedar
just
Hill.
going to let it go at this point.
I think at this point we'll just regroup for
Three
the
and a half minutes left
the
in the
late
game.
game.
This was a clinic by Carthage. Guys, they outscored them 70-0 after trailing 14-0.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they took again.
But Gilmer could barely move the ball, man.
It was very much a like a boxing match, right? Gilmer came out and they threw a lot of punches early. They threw them fast and hard, and they caught Carthage with a couple. They went up 14-0. They had the second onside kick was successful, but Carthage did not have the glass jaw. They stood in there. They took the punches, and after they had kind of ridden out the storm, they come back, like you said, 70 unanswered points. That's a lot, Scott. You're correct. It is a lot.
If you think about it, really, the 2 pick sixes by Brandon King tied it at 14. Then Mason Courtney goes ballistic for like 250-something yards.
Yes. You
Carth-
have
here's the thing. There's
ability-
there's 2.5 minutes left in this game, and all the Carthage coaches have already taken off their headsets. Like, they don't have their headsets on anymore. Like, who's calling the defensive plays at this point? Like, are they just like, you guys
the middle linebacker.
You guys just do whatever you want to do. It's 70-14. You call what you want to call. It's just like they're just running a 4-3 defense. Like, okay, cool. Like, just tackle.
4-3, cover 2. Okay, Oak Ridge and Tomball Memorial.
Tomball Memorial is gonna run them over.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, dude, Joseph,
you watch out for the War Eagles, man.
have you
Eagles
seen
versus the
Joseph
Eagles.
Manjack this season? All you have to do is line him back up at quarterback and just run him. He ran every game played quarterback. He had like 200 yards rushing. No, Tomball Memorial, too much for Oak Ridge.
Real quick pick. Well, we saw Bridgeland 1 versus the Caney. Rockwall, Heath, and Temple.
Temple.
I got Temple. That's it for. I thought there'd be more Houston schools.
In
Yeah.
Region 3, we had more Houston schools.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that takes us down to 5A now, real quick.
Yeah, 5A.
There it is,
Shut-
guys. There's the cooler.
Who's your
They're
shot
ready.
called for Region 4?
Oh, right. This
Yes.
evening we've got the
Oh, here it
4A.
comes. They it looks
Wait,
like
San Antonio Wagner lost, Josh?
I'm not for sure. I
J-Dub?
haven't really.
Wagner lost. Yeah. Hayes.
Let's see who's got the cooler. Let's see. It looks like
mean,
50 and 27
You're more
for
familiar with that
Carthage.
region. Who you got? You're more familiar with Region 4. Who you got?
Cade Seaton and Jonathan Madrano, both seniors, have the cooler now for Carthage as Scott Surratt's about to get a bath.
Oh, we gotta get some information.
We got a
This
Region
was
4.
tough. I mean, because Hayes has gotten dominated in a couple of games, but I mean they've also dominated. Like I'm pretty sure they beat up on Dripping Springs, who's still in. So I don't know. I'm gonna go Johnson. I'm going S.A. Johnson on that one.
S.A. Johnson.
Well, with that pick, we're watching as the
Gatorade Bath.
as Carthage is running out the clock. Another play does not need to happen, and they are 4 of 5, 4 championships in the last 5 years. They have beaten Gilmer 70-14 for the Class 4A Division II state championship. What a game. I mean, honestly, first of all, congratulations to Carthage. Like we said, we already told you our picks for offensive and defensive players of the game, and obviously this team just was so great today. They just did such a good job. Then we have Gilmer, and this has got to be rough for them. It's
First state championship, trying to go for your first state championship since 2014.
Well, and they felt like they had a real chance. I mean, especially early when they're up 14-0, that you really got to feel like you have a chance.
That is all since 2008.
Wow.
8 state championships in the last 12 years.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
That's a run. That rivals
rivals a lot as maybe the greatest in this.
So on the comments, Gus said, does Texas come a calling? Do you even want to leave Carthage at this point though when you're having such success? I mean, look.
So there you go.
13
state championships all time.
Yeah.
Carthage at 8.
Do you even want to leave?
Below the record held by Aledo and Richland Springs.
I do love when they have like the newspapers like ready to go, like the front pages and stuff, and the one they just showed there said great, and it was like great, and it had an 8 there. So I mean, here's the thing, they can go for title number 9 next year and tie all-time record for the most.
Well, this was a great game. It was a lot of fun to watch, and we'll be sticking around for a little while longer. But don't forget to come back this evening, 7:00. Argyle, Lindale for the Class 4A Division I state championship. We'll be back doing the same kind of thing, hanging out, watching the game, talking some football, some other sports, some whatever Scotty T and I get into, and
who knows?
I would say, just jumping on what we're talking about, would he leave Carthage? Just saw him hugging what looks like his son. He's not leaving until his son graduates, at least. So
imagine not.
I bet on that.
That's a good point.
Well, here we go. We're about to find out who the state championship defensive MVP and offensive MVPs are going to be. I mean, if it's not Mason Courtney and Brandon King, I don't know what.
Right. No doubt. No doubt whatsoever that those will be the picks. Just an incredible job by Carthage.
I mean, 8 state championships in 4 years.
8 state championships in 4 years?
Right, 8 state championships in 12 years. 12 years.
That's math adds up.
Yeah.
That's some Texas Tech math.
That's crazy. I mean, and like you said, next year can tie. Imagine, being, at 2007, you've never won a state championship, telling you, okay, well, in 13 years, you're going to have the most in the history of the state.
Yeah.
Potentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds nuts. Absolutely crazy. All right, and here we go. This is defensive player of the game, and sure enough,
Brandon King. There he is.
Defensive back Brandon King. What a great job. Again, 4 interceptions.
Jeez.
2 of those returned for a touchdown. I mean, he alone tied the Gilmer team.
That was like King Island. You don't come near King Island.
Unbelievable.
I'm just saying.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. I mean, what a season for Gilmer. They finished the year 14-2. Their 2 losses to Carthage.
Yeah.
1 in the regular season and 1 in the state championship game. And I mean, Carthage wins 70-14. They rattle off 70 straight points. And yeah, there it is. Mason Courtney, your offensive MVP. No surprise here. No surprise. Those were those were obvious.
Incredibly obvious.
Those were very, very obvious. Obvious performances. Great performance by Carthage. Back-to-back state championship. Yeah, he's stoked. He's stoked. I mean, they're going to go nuts when they get the trophy here in a few minutes.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, thanks for joining us. We know that you're gonna not be here this evening, so
yeah, I'm gonna be at home, kind of monitoring. Got a lot of coverage coming our way tonight.
Yep. Stay tuned on the VYPE social media channels, VYPE Facebook.
Yep. So Tommy Yarsh will be covering Cypher versus Tompkins. That is also the Cube game of the week, Cube 57, with Todd Freed on the call of that one.
No, Matt Malatesta.
No Matt Malatesta.
He is
out of the country.
Yeah, he is out right now. So that game, that's a big game tonight. So Tommy Yarsh will be covering that for us. And then Matt Reese will be out at the Klein Kane Westfield game. So he'll have coverage of that and a recap from that game. And then Kieran Fernandez will be shooting highlights of the Atascocita Pearland game over at CE King Stadium.
Perfect. Well, Josh, the game tonight, me and Scott are going to be watching. Josh Dell will be here watching with us. State Class 4A D1, Argyle and Lindale. Argyle is coming in as the favorite. They are 15-0. Lindale trying to win their first state championship in school history. Who do you got?
I'll go Argyle. I think Argyle just too good. I mean, look at who they beat. They beat Waco La Vega 28-14. I mean, that's a tough one to get through in the third round. They beat Stephenville. That's a good, team as well. So Argyle, I think they finished the perfect season 16-0 and win the state championship.
All right,
and then that'll do it. That'll do it for 4A and down, and then we'll see in about a month. In a month exactly how many
we will see in a month. Obviously Scott is, or not Scott, you're Scott. He's Josh. Josh is going to be at the state championships covering all of that action for VYPE, but the plan is that Scott and I and Josh Dubb will be back here on the campus of VYPE Media doing another watch party with you guys for the 5A and 6A state championships. We hope that you'll come back for that. More importantly, we hope you'll come back tonight.
Hold on. We're not ready to cut the stream off.
I know. I never said we were.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
That's your kind of.
I'm giving the people what they want. I'm giving them information.
Oh, my bad. What's up, people? Party people. What I get for just now tuning in.
And obviously, Scott and I will pick.
He said he'll call in like 2 or 3 minutes.
I think we're going to have a special guest call into the show here.
Who's calling in?
Stephen Peters.
Oh!
Yeah, it's Stephen Peters. We got VYPE reporter Stephen Peters, who has been at the game in the stadium watching the action. We'll get him on the line here in a couple of minutes. And then after that, I think we're going to take a little break.
Yeah, we'll take a little break. Probably fire up the stream again around 6:45-ish.
And we'll be back ready to go for the Class 4A Division I state championships between Argyle and Lindale.
Oh, he's calling now. I'm going to do 5A preview, too.
All right. Steven, can you hear us?
The first time we're having somebody call in here.
There you go. Steven, can you hear us?
Hey, what's up, guys?
There you go. Try now. Can you hear us, Steven?
Steven, Scott Terrell.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm all right.
Hey, awesome. I'm here with Josh Cook and David Francis. We're doing a YouTube live stream right now of just like us watching the game, and you're there on the ground. How was it?
Well, it was a little bit of a wake-up call for Carthage in that first quarter. They went riverboat crazy that Gilmer did in that first quarter with 2 onside kicks and just try to catch them off guard. I think it did a little bit, but once Carthage got a stop and then found the end zone, machine was turned on the train and was rolling. 8 titles in 14 years, 8 titles to 6 playoff losses in the Surratt era. It's crazy.
So they have more state championships than playoff losses. Am I hearing that correctly?
You are hearing that correct.
Wow.
Eight titles to 6 losses under Scott Surratt.
That is mind-boggling.
No kidding.
What was the atmosphere in the stadium like early? You know, obviously Gilmer went up 14-0. What was the atmosphere like on both sidelines when that happened?
Oh, I mean, being this is a Beast Texas showdown, I mean, these two teams have met already this season. Are prior district foes, and they play regularly in non-district years. It was intense. You know, there's a lot of jaw jacking, even in the press box a little bit up here. It's a rivalry for sure. I mean, you don't get this level of a rivalry that close in state very often. So it was very intense. There was a lot of yelling and cheering, and when both teams scored in the first half, and it was still a ball game. It was very excitable.
Yeah, we're watching the highlights right now, and then whenever Brandon King comes up with that pick 6, and then what do you have, 3 or 4 interceptions? Four interceptions?
Four interceptions.
That's
4 interceptions, yeah. So his 4 alone tied him for third most in 4A title game history, including Carthage in 2016. So I don't know what the individual record is, but he tied for third on his own.
So you're saying for the team interception record?
Yeah, the team record. So in state, I think the record is 6. I can't remember who the team was, but he alone tied himself, had as many interceptions as the third place team in state history.
Wow.
In 4A.
Steven, you've been to so many of these games. I mean, have you ever seen an individual performance like that? I mean, 4 interceptions and 2 pick sixes by one guy. I mean, that's ridiculous.
No, and we want to be known that it was his birthday too, so it's a way to show out on for a junior birthday and everything like that. So
nice.
No, I haven't seen a performance like that defensively in a state title game. You usually see a collective effort, a team that's dominating, maybe like a Shadow Creek or something like that can just put anybody on the field and show out. But first it was Kip Lewis playing early. He's on this pace for 24 tackles, and then here comes Brandon King with 4 INTs. So no, it was a great performance.
He had to be unanimous defensive MVP in the press box, right?
It was funny, yeah. So we were joking around saying, Kip Lewis is going to have 20 tackles and not even be defensive MVP just because of how well Brandon Lewis played. I mean, you almost could have made a case that Brandon Lewis could have been offensive MVP, and then Kip Lewis could just take on the defensive MVP.
And the other play of the game was Mason Courtney on offense. I mean, that running back, he's a train. We knew how good he was, over 1,300 yards coming into this game, but we have over 250 yards rushing in this game. Unbelievable by him. Yeah, I mean, he put some Gilmer defensive players in the spin cycle, trucks a few players. I mean, he's got some. He doesn't have elite top end speed, but he has enough to break away and make some plays.
Steven, how's it been so far? Because you've been there covering all the games. How's the atmosphere been at AT&T Stadium for the last couple of days into today?
Well, I mean, we've had hell of some games this week so far. Outside of the 3A or the 6-man game on Wednesday that led us off, we've had three of these 11-man games come down to the wire. It's been exciting. We've had some classics, 2-point conversions for wins, and overtime last night. I don't think you can write a better week of small ball football at state.
Yeah, I mean, other than the 1A D1 game, and this game, obviously, lots of really close, really highly competitive games.
Yeah, I mean, even though Shiner won by 22, I mean, it was a close game midway through it, and the other team's hanging around, but Shiner was just a little bit too strong and pulled away late.
Certainly. What's been your favorite game thus far?
Oh, it's got to be the Hallettsville and Jim Ned last night. Jonathan Brooks, the commit to Texas, was just fantastic, and got 299 and set a 3A state record. And it goes into overtime, and you want to see what these coaches do when it comes to the overtime frames. And Jim went to play to win, 2-point conversion, and there was a offsides that was called. The defense stopped, and quarterback just threw it right over Jonathan Brooks' head. Kind of a bittersweet moment for him, having such a great game on offense, and then seeing the ball and game-winning points be put over his head. It was definitely the best game of the night, or the week so far.
So, as we wrap up here, they just showed a graphic on the broadcast. Scott Surratt, with his 8 titles, becomes the winningest coach at an individual program as far as state championships goes. He's won the most at one program. I mean, talk about him, his legacy he's built at Carthage, and then also they're one championship away now from tying for the all-time state record of 9 state titles.
Right. No, I mean, Scott, he's an offensive genius. I'm going to take a line from Mike Roach, who's a 247 Texas writer. I mean, it's the most gangster stat you can think of, having 8 titles to only 6 losses. He basically runs that town. He's going to be fat and happy for a long time there. He's got a son that's in 7th grade, so he's probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And that program just rolls with talent. They've got 9 defensive starters coming back next year. They're probably going to be the lock for the preseason favorite for next year to win it all again.
Sounds like it, man. Sounds like it. So, real quick preview for the night. Who you got, Argyle or Lindale?
I've got to go Argyle. I just think that talent is just too much. Lindale may have one of the best players in the state, and they've never gotten past the second round. And this year was all or nothing for Argyle. Yes, they have talent on the sub levels, but with C.J. Rogers, Tito Bice, everybody, they were built to get past Waco and Vega this year, and in the playoffs they did that, and they're just kind of rolling right along. I could see Argyle just trucking them easily. But I've also been wrong on the other thoughts of how I thought the other games would play out. So who knows? But I've got Argyle. I would love to see Argyle and Carthage play, to be honest, if that was ever possible. But
yeah,
that's where we're at.
Awesome. Well, Steven, is there any way that we could get, because we're going to be doing the stream tonight, could we give you a call at halftime for a check-in for the game tonight?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. That'd be great.
Hey, awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, for joining on the call here, and we'll talk to you later, man. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, so that's Steven Peters. You can go to VYPE.com, check out his instant reaction. That's going to be rolling out here momentarily. His game recaps. He's been doing a great job covering the small ball state championships for VYPE up at AT&T Stadium. One more game to go tonight, Lindale and Argyle, and then that will do it for the small ball, and then we will have a few more weeks into the playoffs, and then we will have the big boys 5A and 6A head up there to AT&T Stadium in the middle of January to play for the state championships. So Carthage wins state title number 8 in their program history.
And
Scott,
relatively, hold on, I can't get over this. In such a relatively short
Yeah.
time. It just isn't like back in the 60s, 70s, or World
all,
War II era.
All in the last what, 14 years? Is that what they said?
Yes.
14 years? That's ridiculous. That's utterly ridiculous. If you sat down with somebody, at Carthage High School in, let's say, 2005 or whatever,
Yeah.
and you're like, hey, in 2021, that's, a little over 15 years from now, you're going to have the opportunity to become one of the most, tie the record for the most state championships in Texas high school football. You're gonna have that opportunity.
Oh,
They
I
would've been
think they wouldn't
they'd
believe
have
it.
been like, what? What do you mean?
And Steven even said his son, Scott Surratt's son, is in the 7th grade.
Right.
So, I mean, if you think about it, he's in the
Unlikely-
7th grade this year.
Right.
So, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th, 11th, 12th.
5
more years. So, we thinking, I mean...
5 more state championships.
That's the thing.
I don't know. He's going to win 5 more. I mean, I think, like Steven said, next year they're going to be a favorite again because the defense is going to be so good.
Right.
Because we bring back 9 of 11 starters next year, including Brandon King, who had 4 interceptions and 2 pick sixes in the state title game today. I mean, I could see Carthage potentially I mean, you got to battle with Aledo and Richland Springs, and so, but they will in the next 5 years they will be one of the teams that will get to double-digit state championships in the history of Texas high school football.
I think that it's reasonable to suggest that because his son is going to spend 5 more, his son would spend 5 more years through the system.
7th grade though.
Yep. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Yeah, that's 5.
Yeah, 5 more.
Math is hard sometimes, Joe.
It's okay. He
would
went to
spend
Baylor.
5 years
It's
in the
fine.
system, so in 5 more seasons, I think it's perfectly reasonable to think they could win 2 more.
They win 2 to 3 more.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And end up with double digits. Obviously, no team has double digits. Though still, Aledo shooting for that this year.
Yeah, Aledo trying to get
would
to number
become
10
the first team. So
this year.
As well as Richland Springs because their game with Balmorhea was canceled.
That's true.
It was postponed. So
that's
they're
true.
obviously
Richland
still
Springs
shooting
could be the first
for double digits
to reach double digits this year. So
no sign of stopping for Carthage.
Yeah, that was impressive. This was the first time I've gotten to sit back and watch Carthage. That was an impressive football team.
It was very impressive.
Very impressive. To get down 14-0, not get shaken at all, rattle off 70 straight points. Great job by them.
Absolutely.
So
right.
is that do it?
That's all I got.
That's all you got? Well, cool.
That's all we got for part 1 of the stream.
They're
Part
back
2,
for the
David and I
nightcap.
Will be back with producer Josh Dubb. Got a lot of Joshes, and they're sitting right next to each other, so that's a lot of fun. But Josh Dubb, producer Josh Dubb, will be back with us here tonight. Stream will probably go up around 6:45, 6:50-ish. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock for Lindale and Argyle, both the Eagles. I hope that doesn't get confusing.
It will.
It probably will.
It will.
Fellas, this has been fun today.
It's been great. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for all the listenership, all the new subscribers we've gotten. We thank you. We really appreciate you supporting us, supporting VYPE Media, and because we all love Texas high school football around here. So for Scott,
David,
and for Josh, we're signing off, and we'll see you at the games.
Thanks.